thing. Hello? Yes. Over with who? Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I just wanted someone to come out, and he said that someone would come out tomorrow between the hours of 4 and 8. Okay, it's just I'm working. Is it? Can you just call back and leave a message? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you. No, you've been great. Thank you. You too. Bye bye. Okay, I think we're good. I'm not even gonna say what I did earlier because mm, okay, AT&T is gonna come out. I was about to come on here and I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm gonna just move on. Okay, I think my connection is fixed temporarily, but I just want to make sure. If is it freezing? Are we having issues? Please let me know. I apologize about earlier, but I just did not want to do this live without it being smoothly. I mean, what's the point of doing a live stream? So let me know if we're good. Um, I had to rearrange some things and I think it's working. Okay, we're good. Okay. Thank you to everyone who has been patient. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm not a techie girl at all. This is not this is not my thing. But I think we got it together for today. So let me just get into my intro. We're going to just start this again. Let's just start it again. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it. Cause I'm a boss.
I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay. So let's get into it. I really think it was my internet. Honestly, I learned a lot about technology within the last few days, to be honest. Well, week, to be honest. So we will see. But I really think the issue was my internet. I mean, if you don't know much about technology and all the inner works and outer works of technology and things like that, but then the number one thing that's causing the issue is your internet, but you're thinking that it's other things, It just takes time for you to get to that realization or that resolution. So I think I found the issue. So let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm not here to further expose Melanie Kiing at all. I'm not here for people being doxxed. I think that's extreme. In the intro, as you can see, it says we don't expose, right? But at the same time, I can't control what other people are doing. This live stream is about Melanie Kiing saying things about Black women. The way she talked to that one girl from the UK with the blue hair, that's what it is for me. I don't care anything about her personal life, her personal business, even though I do think her personal life, her personal business is contradicting the things that she preaches, which is why a lot of people have an issue with her, because she comes across holier than thou. She comes across as if she looks down on others, and it seems like she is the very thing that she speaks out against. That is just my opinion. I think a lot of people have that opinion about her if you take a look at some of her content. So before we can go forward, I got to go back. So before I can update you on what's going on today or within the last few hours, I have to go back. So then you can get an understanding of why people are reacting in the way that they are, why people feel the need to dox her, why people feel the need to know more about her personal life and her personal business. Honestly, she put this energy out here. This is the second person I've had on my YouTube channel who put the energy out. And now that they're getting it in return, they are the victim, which I find that to be hard to believe, because when you put certain energy out, it has the ability to come back to you, and it has the ability to hurt you, your family, or your loved ones. This is why you should think twice before you get on a platform and you shame and blame people as if you have made all the right decisions in your life. You're perfect. You haven't done anything wrong, etc., etc. So let me go ahead and share my screen, because this is why a lot of women, particularly Black women, have an issue with Melanie Kiing and her recent behavior that she has displayed out of her words for fun.
I will say, across the board, Black women are the lowest in terms of dating and marrying. In fact, actually, Black women are high in dating because we give up sex the most. We're for the streets. We're twerking. We're doing we're doing the most. We dominate rap in the culture that is very sexual, especially in the US. So a lot of men see us as easy targets to, to have sex with. And we have the highest rate of having children outside of marriage, wedlock. And so men see us as bed wenches, easy to have sex with, but they don't see us as valuable wives. Our culture, especially in the US, I don't know how it is in the UK. I know it's a little different, but our family structure is so broken and so destroyed that we really, the majority of Black women in the US, we've been put into a position of just being, sexual, just for a man's sexual pleasure. But if they're going to take a woman serious, that's why you see a lot of Black men when they become successful, they're not marrying us. I mean, they do. Okay, let me say this: 80% of Black men are marrying Black women, even when they're successful. But there is a huge thing where a lot of Black men are going to other races. Why? And a lot of women don't understand. They say the man is racist. No, the culture that woman may have been brought up in, her submissiveness, in our culture, being rebellious, dressing provocative. It's standard. It is standard. We hate ourselves a lot. We hate our own hair. We want our butts to be the fattest. We pride ourselves on things of being bosses, having the fattest booty, being able to twerk the best, but not intrinsic values that is a wife. And to speak to Maggie, like we talk about like colorism in our culture, because I think race is not just race, but it's colorism within our own culture, where they prefer light skin, they prefer this, that, and the other. I tell you on God, an attitude like Maggie, a lot of men, like regardless of anything, like, to me, there's such a peace and an aura about her that a lot of women can learn from, of every race, but particularly in the Black community, that's not standard model, like who she is. Like if you come around Maggie, you just feel loved on. You feel like home. And so I think a lot of Black women can retain that. But if we're talking about race, we're talking about Black women. Let's just be honest about it. We're talking about Black women. We have the lowest marriage rates. We have the highest birth rates outside of marriage. Why is that? We have the highest number of abortions. And our behavior and the culture we promote, if you look around the world, look at our rappers, look at the culture. Most men see us as sexual tools.
Do you agree with what she was saying? Yeah, I do.
Do you agree with what she
100%.
said?
Yeah.
Do you agree with what she said?
Partly, but not everything.
Okay. Do you agree with what she said?
I do.
What's the part that you don't agree with?
I think one that I don't know all those statistics, but I'm assuming you're talking from the US. You know, when you talk about wife culture and wife mindset, Maggie's a wife in this room, but I'm thinking
But
about,
she's rare. She's rare. Her attitude and what she is in the world, the U.S. has the highest numbers of children born out of wedlock, and the people who dominate that are Black women. So this is worldwide.
so worldwide.
And single mother rate
Single mother rate is Black women.
The single mother rate is
Black
high
women.
in the UK as well.
But it's
Okay.
Black women who
Yeah, it's-
dominate
it's
that.
Black
So,
women.
but we're saying that we're not raised with this wife mindset.
No,
That's
we're
what
not.
we're
We're not. And we can.
Now I have to be honest with you guys. I don't totally disagree with her, but to single us out in Miss Pearly Things apartment among her production team and everything like that, that's what a lot of people don't like. Because I grew up predominantly around white people. White people are not perfect. So it goes back to whitewashing, creating the standard that we should live up to what white people are doing. But that's the thing. We're here in America. We're part of the culture. We're African Americans, right? So that means we share culture that's similar to white people. We share spaces with them. So not only that, they listen to our music, we listen to their music. We tend to pick up on some of their Western ways. So in my opinion, she's not 100% wrong, but to single us out as if it's just us, that is so far from the truth. So far. But I want to come in and bring in this video because this video sums it up for me. And men don't listen to women. So I'm going to bring on a man to sum it up for me because he did such a great job. And he pretty much reminds me of my father personally. Let me see. Here it is.
To bring it to every man's attention that our sisters didn't become bitches till you became a dog. So I ask you to just make up your mind to be a king, just for shits and giggles. Okay? Make up your own mind to just stand up and be a king. And I guarantee you, our sisters will stand beside you. And
Last question, how do you...
So back to what I'm saying. A lot of times Black women tend to just be blamed. But when I think of a community, it takes two people. It takes a man and a woman to create a community. It takes raising children to create a community. And so when we have these conversations and it's just the center focus is women, Black women, 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 women. The community just didn't get that way just because of women. It takes two. And then I'm going to give you this to think about. The Black community is toxic and dysfunctional because of family. Family. It's not just Black women, family. So until we address that, I really am tired of these conversations about Black women, Black women, Black women. Black women are the scapegoat when it comes to just about anything. We are the scapegoat. We are the scapegoat within society as a whole. People always turn to us for everything, whether it's positive, negative, and in between. We are the scapegoat. Nothing we do is good enough. Nothing we say is ever thought-provoking for many. We are undermined a lot. We are gaslit a lot. So we are the scapegoat of society here in the US. We just are. People pick on us. We don't even have to, we could be minding our business and it's a problem. So when we speak on the Black community, that's unity, community, unity, man, woman, children, family, village. What happened to it? It's gone. So until people want to be 100% honest about it and include all factors into the equation, I'm tired of these conversations. I just am. So it takes two to create a community, a man and a woman, period. Nothing else to talk about. So to continue to blame women as if these women, these girls are not someone's daughter is very odd to me. It just does not make sense. Yet men are supposed to be leaders. They're supposed to teach. They are supposed to guide. They are supposed to influence. What happened to that? What happened to that? So let's really talk about it. But of course, it's just the Black woman's fault, as always.
There's a lot of reasons for it. It's not just
Mhm.
because we're the worst or anything like that.
But
It's not what I
think,
mean.
But I think that's what you have to break down, because if we're going to then speak to Black women and say these things, you have to then come with one, reasonings, because there's so much we already get that you are this, you are this, you are that. If we're then going to add to that ourselves, you have to be responsible to add a solution and a background.
But the solution is you have to take accountability. I don't care what your background is. We live in the most privileged society in the world. Even though the worst circumstance of a Black woman today is nothing but it was 100 years ago. Especially if you want to talk about the U.S. slavery. I don't know how it was in the UK. I mean, I do know it wasn't like it was in the U.S. But if one Black woman made a choice that was Maggie made a choice that was better than the next Black woman, then you have a standard now that you need to live up to. And I think a lot of times we want to just say, well, it's somebody's fault, to the government. It's this, that. A lot of races. You look at the Jewish people and what they've gone through in society. It's a lot of the same atrocities. In fact, all of the Bible, all of the Israelites and the Hebrews were actual slaves. Like it was a known thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is, if we have to take accountability. We want to keep pointing. Let's not point any more of what the government and what it is. What do Black women need to change today? What are we promoting? Are you twerking? Are your friends twerking online? Are they showing their booty? Are they dressing for the streets? Are they thinking about serving a man? Most Black women today, it is sacrilegious. It is almost insulting them to say serve a man a plate. It is like discombobulate them. It's almost they get aggressive and mad and call you a pick me for giving a man a plate, taking his plate. You want some more to drink? You want some more to eat? It's a pleasure. Megan and I were having a conversation like most Black women don't know the joy, and I'm not blaming. Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this from a point of view that a lot of Black women don't know the other side of this conversation. We're talking about it is a joy to see a man light up, like what's for dinner, like excited about bringing the plate, and he's so satisfied. You think you have to be sexual to make a man so happy and want you? I'm gonna tell you what. We come in and I'm serving your man, I'm taking him. Like he's gone. He's out of your life. Why? Because I'm coming in with wife features. I don't have to dress a certain way. I don't have to do certain. I don't have to twerk. We've been sexualized. And what you have to understand, the way we are behaving today and our mindsets, we want to blame the government, but you have to understand the mindsets we have today, the independent, sexualized ways that we are. You got to be mad that that's how you have to be, what our culture has become, because it has been put upon us.
Okay, so for me, my perception, I do agree with a lot of what you're saying, but for me, it comes from a place of, let's talk about self-worth, and let's talk about how Black girls and Black women can increase our self-worth, and therefore you're coming from a place of help. Because if you're talking about other cultures, the Jewish culture, any other cultures, they are a community, and they don't, I feel like it's only our culture that constantly talks bad about each other so
Yes,
publicly.
it's true.
I personally feel like the Black community has a sex addiction issue, both men and women. The community in itself is hypersexual, which is why a lot of things tend to happen within our family dynamics. Like molestation runs pretty deep in the Black family, which is why a lot of us don't gather. But to say it's women, women, we have to have sex with someone. We can't have sex with ourselves. We could have sex with each other, but we're not doing that, right? Because then the out of wedlock numbers wouldn't make sense. So I think the Black community has a sex addiction, like every day I get on social media, it's the Shade Room, it's Spiritual Word, it's Baller Alert. We're always having a sexual undertone conversation on platforms. Always, every week. I've started noticing that a lot more. It's like sticking out to me now. And so it's not just women. It's men too, being hypersexual. So I think it's a community issue that runs really deep in the Black family. And we can start with the history of the Black family, right? How we were exploited during slavery, both men and women. We weren't the only ones being AR'd in slavery. Men were being AR'd as well. So I think that's where it starts. I think a lot of Black people have an unhealthy obsession with sex. It's not just women though. I'm sorry. Like I noticed that we're like the only community that constantly talks about sex day in and day out. And we don't get tired of it. We talk about it all the time. We love it. So I think we need to start having a real conversation about that instead of making it just the woman's issue. It's a community issue. There are kids nowadays having sex at 10, 12, 11, 13, just young, just super young. And it's because they're being exposed to our culture, right? Ours, because we're a community, our culture. And then all of a sudden, they are growing this obsession about sex, getting sexual, porn, and all of this stuff. It's a community issue. It's not just the Black woman. So we need to be real about that. We need to be real about that. Men think it's a badge of honor to be fetishized by women outside of the community when it comes to their peen. Is that not right? Okay. So that translates over to our community as well and how people outside of our community view us. So I think we have an issue with sex in general as a whole when we speak on the community. And like the old wise man said, he said, women did not become bees until men made them, or no, men were dogs and women became bees. So men became dogs, women became bees. And I keep telling men, women only follow in your footsteps. I keep telling y'all that. There are a lot of women nowadays called 304s who I consider them to be playgirls. They're being players, just like how men are. Men are players. So now you have 304s that are players. Y'all two of the same. Just two different sides of the same coin. And it's like calling someone out, but it's like, that's what you do. That's what you preach on your platform. You teach men to be players. You teach them to pump and dump, right? You teach them to move on and not to do this, do this. Okay, cool. Well, now you have 304s. They are on the rise. Why are they on the rise? They're mimicking your behavior. Now they're wanting to get a lick back. They wanting to get their lick back. So they're becoming players. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to take men in this space serious when you teach men to be players, and now women are doing the same thing. They're literally doing the same thing. And you know what they're doing? They're taking a page out of your book. They're sitting back, they're studying your platform, they're studying your content, they're studying how to easily manipulate a man, and it really just doesn't take much. So it's not hard.
It's true.
So publicly.
It's true.
So if we're going to have this conversation, you come from a place of how can we help each other and build each other up? Maggie kindly then spoke to this lady and said, can I just say, out of respect, next time, think like this. Next time, put the right things in order. And I think that was the most beneficial thing that she got from this conversation, rather than all the questions of how did this happen? How did this happen? And being accusatory. Come from a place that Maggie was saying, how do we help each other with building up our self-worth and kindness, and stop with the constant, well, we're this, because we are talking bad about ourselves.
But this is the thing. Black women want this soft tone, but we don't give what we want to receive. So we were talking about, but Maggie did, but look at most Black women today. There's an aggression, there's a dominance, there is a thing. And I understand because most of us have been raised very masculine because we didn't have fathers in the home. Our mothers relied on us. Our mothers didn't teach us certain things.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I was raised very militant and very masculine by my father. So that's not true. A lot of Black women are raised masculine because we have to survive in a system that was never made for us. And until people want to address that, stop gaslighting Black women on why we were raised masculine. It wasn't because of single mothers. Some of us had fathers raising us to be hyper independent. Why? Because we live in a system, we come from a community where we can't rely on our men. My own father prepared me for that. That's number one. Number two, we live in a system that was never made for us. So if we're being raised masculine, it's because of the conditioning and the environment that we're in. Again, gaslighting Black women on why we are the way that we are. So, of course, these other women, they can go around being feminine all day, every day. They don't have to worry about being Black. They don't have to worry about being Black, seen as being aggressive because you're Black. It doesn't matter if you're female. We're automatically seen as the aggressor because we're Black. Don't Black men know what that's like? Come on. Let's be real about it.
So we want what we're not giving out to the world. You want the tone of Maggie, then be Maggie. Like no one's making us choose the things. Everyone comes from somewhere. My mother was raped at 14. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. But no fault of her own. Her black mother kicked her out of her house. White nuns took her in. Okay, no fault of her own. She made a choice. She didn't talk to her family for nearly 7 years. She decided to go to college. She was going to make something for herself. She went on, joined the Air Force, went to college, got her degree. The only person in her family, while the rest of them made different choices. Then she went on. I grew up in the Pentagon because of my mother. I had an internship in the White House because of my mother. Her circumstances were what they were, but she went on to make a different choice. So every time we say these things, and then she raised me the way she did to try to get me the results. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. She's not perfect. None of us are perfect. But I think a lot of black women, especially Kevin Samuels, who was my mentor, a lot of black women are against him. He was one of my friends. He was my mentor. And so a lot of women got mad at his tone because they never had a father talk to them and discipline. He sounded just like my father. So I was like home to me because I knew a man who loves you and loved black women. And that's what it was. That's what we were so harping on tone. And we want all this kindness, but are we giving it out? Most black women are extremely aggressive.
I want to stop her right there because she said, oh, my father would talk to me in the same way. Same thing. But I knew my father loved me, though. You have strangers, men, strangers, okay, talking to women in that way. You really think that's love? I can't tell. That's why I don't listen to men outside of my father. It could be hate. It could be jealousy. It could be abuse. It could be a lot of different things. And even at times when I was growing up and my father would talk to me in that same way that you're referring to, I had to question, like, damn, does this man actually love me or does he not? I couldn't tell some days. So for men who don't pay bills, because my daddy paid my bills, he provided for me. These men ain't paying bills. These women ain't paying. These men are not paying these women's bills to even have that type of authority over her. So it doesn't even make sense. My dad provided for me. He guided me. He influenced me. He taught. He showed up for me consistently every day. These men are in no position to have that type of authority over these women. It's very weird. It's very weird. There's a huge difference. She wants us to allow any man out here to have authority over us. And what world does she live in? That's just not smart. That's not street smart at all. To allow a man access up here, that's a dangerous game that you're playing. That's why men need women. I would say toxic men need women to be delusional, stupid, naive, and gullible. Stupid, naive, delusional, and gullible. It's a dangerous game to allow a man in here, especially when you don't know him. You don't know his motives, his hidden intentions. It doesn't make sense. It's dangerous. So it's different when it comes from your father. It's different because even if your father talks to you like that, if he's providing for you, he's showing up for you consistently. And some of these girls out here, their father never showed up for them consistently, provided for them consistently. Do you think that they would even listen to their father? No. Respect is earned. It's not just given away. So you actually have to lead by example to get that type of respect or to get that authoritative role over someone. These men are not leading by example. They're doing the complete opposite, which is why we have 304s on the up and coming players. 304s are players, women who play games, women who waste your time. They're following the lead of these men. So which is it? Which is it?
Extremely combative, aggressive. But when they say, well, you need to say it nicer. But are we giving out what we want to receive?
Maybe that's where it helps, though. If you give it, maybe it'll be received and it might just be soaked in and given right back.
And I don't say this to put our women down. I know the history of what we've gone through. This is more so we can have a conversation, be real with each other so that we as a community can get better results. If we're not real with each other, especially the older women talking to younger women, I want every woman in this room to win. I have no competition with you. A lot of your mothers are in competition with you. Okay? They don't want you to win. They didn't raise you to be a wife because they didn't understand. They did the best of what they knew. And so it's not a point of putting you down. It's not a point of breaking you down, but saying, listen, we need to learn from Jewish culture. We need to learn some Latin culture.
I got a question. So are we all, so we all want to be more like Meghan Markle or less like?
No, absolutely not. She's a narcissist. I was a fan. My first time coming to the UK was to that wedding because I believed in what they were doing. I recently did a video. I was the first black woman publicly on YouTube to say absolutely. Once I saw the evidence of the simping of Prince Harry and the destruction of his family, boy. But listen, Ruby Bridges, who was the first little girl in the U.S. to go into segregation in the U.S. All the schools were segregated, black and white. She was 7 years old, went into a school for the first time, a white school. She was spit on, beat up, brutalized, and she stood what we call 10 toes. She stood taller than Meghan Markle. You do not know. If you look at Martin Luther King, people who went through real racism, in the world. Nelson Mandela complained less than Meghan Markle. She was only black when it was convenient. She never stood for us. Why were there no black girlfriends? Or her black family she had beef with her white family. Why was her black family not there? The only black people were there were people that she saw black people as charity, or black people like Oprah, people she didn't even know. So she didn't love us. She didn't claim us. She did nothing for us. And once I opened my eyes and see she got the right one with Prince Harry being a mark and a simp, and he had a bitterness and an anger because he's the spare. But really, y'all need to watch South Park.
I'm glad my troll question went on that direction. Can I add like one little?
No.
Okay. I will not.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm gone.
All right, cool.
Many of you know I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help.
Okay. So a lot of what Melanie had to say in this video is a lot. It has to do with a lot of why she's getting exposed, which I don't agree with. Y'all know I don't agree with that type of stuff, you know, especially when it comes to people's kids. I just feel like some things should be off limits. Kids, they should be off limits. They're innocent. This is adult stuff. Like it should not involve children. But her situation is a little unique. I will say that, because it's about YouTube. It's about her being a grifter, a chameleon, all these things. And so it has a lot to do with, unfortunately, her children, because she put her children out here before she made that switch to do, I would say, manosphere content. Even though a lot of people are running away from the manosphere label due to them being investigated by the FBI. But I'm going to move on because I do want to move on to the next thing. Another reason Melanie is having such a hard week, I want to say, this one. She is also seen as a colorist. A lot of people believe that she is a colorist. She definitely shows signs that she is a colorist. Okay. And I'm going to show you this video as well, because her and I want to say MTR and Melanie Kiing set up on live the other night and made fun of this African woman. So let me just go ahead and play this video and then I'll be back.
What up, y'all? It's your boy, Healthy Black Pill Diet 2. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, you are definitely missing out. Hashtag what the is your life about? All right. So apparently Melanie Kiing and MTR did another stream together last night. And oh my God, they literally were clowning African women's feet. They were clowning dark-skinned black women's feet. How dare these light-skinned people, these colorist mofos, talk about our people from the motherland? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Shame, shame, shame. Let's play this footage, man. I'm gonna get my commentary. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. Fair use.
They might be hurt. Do you mind taking them off real quick so I can take a gander at the toes? Chocolate. That's doo-doo, baby. That's what's up with me, but
So let me provide some context real quick. They're reacting to a video of the Pan-African Dating Show, which is produced by O'Shea. And the guy who's featured on the show is J.R. Wisdom, another waffle-colored Negro. And basically, you know, he's trying to find a woman out there in Uganda, and basically he's looking at their feet. Interesting stuff. Let's proceed.
how often do you get paid, number one? Pedicures.
Oh, shit, that's doo-doo.
Nails done too, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold up.
Holy.
She been in,
Holy.
where they're in, Uganda, right?
They're actually cute. It's just the angle. I think her toes are cute. It's just the angle.
Do they have shoes in Uganda?
Oh, what you're not going to do. What you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. My bad, y'all. I'm looking at something. All right, so he just asked, do they have shoes in Uganda? Do they have shoes in Uganda? What kind of crap is that? Asking if they got shoes in Uganda. Of course they got shoes in Uganda, Negro. What are you talking about, MTR? You sound like a colorist nationalist, MTR.
You're not going to do is put my African, like we are not going to. I think I'm like 5% Ugandan. You ain't gonna put my people.
Oh, shit.
My toes are cute. It's just the angle is hitting and they fresh out the shoe.
She got the knuckle dust.
Her shoes are busted though, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, her feet are busted, man. I cannot cap. Jesus Christ.
There's no Sarah don't like them. Her feet look like hands.
Oh, God.
Nigga, why the knuckles are so pronounced?
Because she has brown skin, and sometimes when you are
hell no!
understand. You light skin. You don't understand. Sometimes the knuckle, the elbows, the knees, our joints. It's a different color.
Dog.
I'm sorry you've been introduced to black folk for the first time.
Dog, I don't like
what
how
you're not gonna do is put down my you got it people.
I don't like how the middle finger toe is.
She look good. Her pedicure is cute. Y'all crazy. No,
Hold
I'm
up.
calling her pedicure is cute. Get the lighting. The lighting is off.
Lies.
Her toes are cute.
Those are some strong.
Nah, I ain't gonna. Her toes do look kind of weird. Good lord. But MTR pretty much roasted the hell out of this woman's feet, man. I don't know. MTR was that funny, man. Let's proceed.
Ass feet, girl.
You know what? I'm sick of this.
I don't. You see this knuckle right here? That nigga sturdy as a motherfucker. I don't trust her. She's a scammer. She's got scammer toes.
You know, I probably should have put a trigger warning in here because I have a lot of African followers, and I do apologize for the immaturity and disrespect that you're seeing right now. But we're not all like this. Unfortunately, some people are just more ignorant when it comes to stuff like this. So I don't know why they thought that this was a good idea. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. But this is what black people do to each other. This is what we do, and then we sit back and we blame black women. This is what we do, and we think this is entertaining. It's actually very embarrassing because this is what we consider racist or white supremacy people to do to us, but we turn around and we do it to each other. Very ignorant. But let's continue.
She's got. She's.
Uh-oh. Damn.
I'm still mad at you. They got shoes and you got the comment. I'm so mad.
She's walked around barefoot most of her life.
Oh, come on, MTR. He making fun of these underprivileged, underserved, poor, destitute women. How dare you, MTR? You sitting up there in your penthouse, you know, with your light-skinned shorty next to you, and you making fun of the dark-skinned people who gotta struggle. Come on, MTR. This ain't cool, bro.
What are those? She got the 2023 Jordan Ugandan ones on right now. She got.
This is a violation of the highest order. This is a violation.
I don't like how is this a normal activity on the side right here?
You too picky. Do you eliminate girls like this? You said you're not into feet. You eliminate them.
I bet if she was a white woman, he wouldn't be saying that. I bet if that was Pearl's feet, he wouldn't be saying that shit. But he gonna say it to the dark-skinned Ugandan black woman. What is wrong, MTR? This dude is a colorist. Yes, MTR is a colorist. MTR hates dark-skinned women. MTR doesn't like black women. That's the reason he came at Six to Goddess, because she dark-skinned. He don't like the dark-skinned sisters. That's why he's standing next to Melanie Kiing, because she light-skinned. He only likes the light-skinned women. Come on, MTR.
Got biker toes.
What are biker toes?
You know, like when they ride motorcycles and they stop with their feet. She got the Flintstones. She got the Fred Flintstones. She got the. She's getting eliminated with those, Mama. She needs a lifetime membership to Manicures United.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give her. You know what I'm saying? Let's go start a GoFundMe. You know what I mean? I just don't like the discoloration between her toes and then like the parts of her toes where the ligaments are.
No, I'm sorry. That is how black people are. That's how black skin. I know. You don't know about
that. Are you telling me these are pretty toes?
I think her toes are cute.
You're a goddamn liar.
Black people, even me, black people have different.
Let me see your toes. Okay. Oh, you got them niggas.
My toes are a little chubby.
I look bad.
This is so crazy. It's so crazy because she's talking about like discoloration. It's just the irony in this. Her getting her skin bleached or whatever. Like Melanie Kiing was literally 3 shades darker than this before she got her skin bleached. So of course there's gonna be some discoloration on her feet. You know? Just saying.
Toes is like this, motherfucker. What the? Okay. Why were they doing it?
I was pressing them onto the ground because I was angry at you.
Wait a minute. So you angry at me for talking about her toes? I look bad. Her toes. You gonna put your toes up?
Oh, wait. I'm gonna latch you here. Okay, never mind. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, we're back to church. Let's get back to church.
Those is pretty toes.
Let's get back to church.
Those is pretty toes.
No, but what you're not.
Like I said, her toes do look jacked up. They do look jacked up. It's not really the color so much. It's just the shape, the shapes, and just the way they look. Like like animal feet. Good Lord.
Talk about the discoloration, okay? It's not discoloration. Black people, it's just the melting how it shows up, okay? What you're not going to do.
No, you remember the movie Happy Feet? She got the angry feet.
Damn.
You're not gonna do my sister like this. You're not gonna do my sister like this. No.
Listen, I never knew I was good at roasting until I started a YouTube channel.
Tell us you are savage. Not you. Do they have shoes in Uganda? Not the Ugandan Jordan 1.
Wait a minute. We've been talking about her feet. We're not talking about her shoes though. What's up?
Her shoes cute.
I don't know anything about girls' shoes. Let's get off of it. All right.
Let me stop right there. Let me know what y'all think. Get in the comment section, like, share, subscribe.
I'm done with that. I'm done. But this is another example of why people are reacting in the way that they are. Now she's being doxxed, okay? Like she wants to be this victim, but I'm just like, sis, you brought all of this on yourself. All of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. So now I'm going to move on to the live stream with Don or Duke the Don, because a lot of people were doxing her. And I apologize for that, but I had to show you that. I had to show you that. So then we can move forward to what's going on today. So a lot of people are doxing her. A lot of people have a lot to say regarding, a lot of the things that she says versus how she lives her life and things like that. So people were calling her out. So I'm going to pull up the YouTuber or the YouTube channel Duke the Don. He was able to bring her on to his YouTube channel. Hold on, let me switch gears here. To confront her on, some of the things she has done, some of the things she has said versus some of her personal life and things like that. So let me go ahead and bring up this video. Let me make sure. Okay. It starts at about 3 hours and 39 minutes. So I apologize. Let me share my screen here. Go ahead and get you a snack. Go ahead and get you a snack. Go ahead and get you a snack. All righty.
Hey, now, something weird. So is that Melanie? Oh, hold on. I'm about to drop you. I gotta talk
Okay,
to my
yeah,
Melanie. Salute to you, brother. Melanie, how you doing?
Hello.
You gonna sue me now, huh? What you gonna sue me now? Arrest me. I've been a sinner. What you got with me? What's your problem?
For me, because I don't watch you and I don't watch your lives, but I came on here because somebody said you had good content. I got good content tonight, and you talk.
Hold on. I got something for you. Is this you?
Yes.
All right. So where that $175,000 go you stole from your family? That's my first question.
Okay.
All right. Why are they suing you?
Hold on. Let me screen record so my lawyers can get this.
Oh yeah. Make sure you get all of this. Make sure you get all of this. All of this mess right here. Look at this. Yeah. Look at this. Gorgeous queen over here. I hope you screen record all of this, please. All right. So explain this. This is you, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. So what's going on here?
What's going on with what?
You heard my first question. What's going on with the plastic surgery? What's going on with the change? What's going on with all of that?
Are you here to attack a woman like the Real Housewives bussy? Because only a bussy is talking about a woman's looks and what she looks.
Okay, before they get into it, let me give you a quick fill-in really quick. So if you want to know what this live stream is going to be about, apparently, allegedly, because I have not looked into any of this stuff personally, so I have to say allegedly. Okay. If you want to know more, you can go to Mike TV or you can look up this information yourself because it is public information. But Melanie had a YouTube channel. It was a family channel with her and her 2 daughters. I don't want to speak too much on her 2 daughters, but I will say that she had a YouTube channel with them. She shared a YouTube channel with them. She ran their YouTube channel. I'm not sure what the content was really focused on, but she had a YouTube channel with her daughters. When she got divorced, her husband sued her for the YouTube channel. And allegedly she stole like $100,000, used a business credit card that was under the business name that her husband funded. And so when he sued her, all of that information is kind of like public records. And so a lot of people are calling her out about that because she's coming across as a grifter. So a lot of people feel like, she has transitioned to this side of YouTube in hopes that she makes it big over here because of how she allegedly betrayed her own family. And I think that's huge. I think that's a key point to all of this. The interesting thing about the men in this space, she allegedly screwed over a Black man, but they defend her. And I think that's actually crazy because if you look into some of the things in the documents that are public, it's interesting how they still defend her so heavily when the very thing that they're defending, they claim they are against. So it's interesting. At this point, the only person that I want to hear from is her husband. I saw that her sister was on Mike TV, his YouTube channel, which I will be pulling up later. So I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. So let's just continue here. Let's continue.
It's like a question. I know you need my name in your mouth in order to get any clout. You've been struggling.
I want your name all over my mouth. Yes,
I know.
absolutely.
Talk. Let me answer a question, or are you going to interrupt me?
You've had the floor for like 5 seconds, yeah. So you can say what you want to say.
You
Come on, Busty.
You gonna
I'm letting you talk. You just playing games right now. Just say what you gotta say, woman.
No.
Goddamn. Quit playing with me.
Can you get out your feelings and calm down? You just scream and go off. Hold a masculine frame for 5 seconds.
Oh my God, I'm so feminine. Oh my God.
Yeah, you are. You are. Look at my name in your thing.
No, hey, listen, enjoy this. Are you gonna say to get to the point of what? Like you sitting here just talking and you just being condescending, but you're not answering the question. What did you spend that $175,000 your husband is suing you for? So excuse me for all this nonsense you're talking about. I don't want to hear. Answer the question or don't answer the question, Melanie. But this game of semantics ain't gonna work for me. All right, listen. You can call me emotional all you want, but listen, you gotta. Yeah, come on. Yeah, I know you feel all that. Now tell me what's up. Come on now.
Cry it out. I know you're mad because you've been struggle streaming your whole life and don't nobody care unless you put my name in your mouth. But hey, cry it out.
So you gonna answer the question?
What's your bussy boo?
the MTR hit that too?
Has
Hit that bussy?
Has it been leaking? I have a pack of tampons if you need one.
He hit that bussy so hard it was leaking?
No, your bussy.
Oh, you talking about my bussy? Oh no, I don't got a bussy.
Oh yeah, you do.
I got a schlong, man. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna get to that. You're not answering the question. Hey, listen, this is not looking too good. If your lawyers would have played this, all right, it's not gonna be looking too good. All right, just answer the question. You're not saying nothing.
You'll find out. That's fine. You'll find out. I don't need to speak what my lawyer's doing. They're moving in silence, like you should have been.
Okay, cool. So you want to answer the question, Melanie?
Your questions about my personal life, first of all, it's not.
So then why would you come up here and ask me if I had a question for you if you're not gonna answer the damn question?
First of all, stop cussing me.
It's my channel.
Conduct yourself like a grown man.
It's my channel. I cuss all the time. I can't even help myself from cussing. That's just how crazy. Lord help me, I'm a sinner. I can't stop cursing. Fuck, I did it again, baby. I can't help it.
Oh Jesus. Oof.
I know it's too hot in here. What's up though?
Oof. Jesus. Okay.
What's up?
Have an adult.
I do want to say this word of advice to the women that are out here. Okay, never go to a man's channel to defend yourself. You're not gonna win that, like ever. You're not gonna win that. I'm sorry. It's not smart. There's no logic behind it. It's actually just ludicrous, in my opinion. Okay, so don't ever go to a YouTube channel to defend yourself. You have nothing to prove. Okay. If you want to address something, address it on your channel. Okay. Address it on your channel. If you address it, be transparent, be honest. Don't try to fool people. That's all I got. But I don't recommend that you ever do something like this. Ever go around and basically be on a whole interview. I don't even know. You're not gonna win. Log out, take a vacation, take a week off, then come back and then address it on your channel. If that's what you want to do, it's up to you. But I wouldn't recommend that you do this.
All conversation already.
I'm waiting on you. You're not answering nothing. I'm just hearing this, and this, but you're not answering nothing.
You done, real house bussy? You done?
All right, since you don't want to answer personal questions, where's your video? When we gonna get that Pearly video? Let's move the subject because you playing games. So when we gonna get that Pearly video? Master Pearl, when we gonna get that video? We need some accountability from you.
No, I don't owe you anything. Do I owe you?
Well, I mean, clearly you know me enough to be on my stream, so yes.
Somebody told me, I was talking to somebody today, and they said sometimes you do some good videos. And I have been on a thing where I have actually reached out to several content creators that I wanted to promote and do reactions to their videos to help promote them on my platform. You were one of them. So I went to your stream today.
Have you seen my channel?
I've never seen your channel a day.
Okay, that makes sense. You probably don't want to promote me. I curse. I hope you don't know that.
I do.
Maybe you do know that.
I do too.
Okay. I'm a bad boy. You're not gonna like me.
I curse too. I'm grown. I don't care about.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, mama.
So what this fool has done. Okay. So
what's on my mic?
Yes.
Okay. You got a lot to say about Mike. Wait, you trying to get into some documents?
One sentence out before you get in your feminine feelings and have to lash back out. Let me finish a sentence. Let me finish a thought without you interrupting. I feel like I'm arguing with some hoes. Calm down, dude. You are like, I know you need the views because the struggle has been real, but calm down. Can you sit there like a grown man and hold frame, or you got to be animated like all it is? It's a lot of feminine energy. I don't argue with women. So you're gonna be a grown man and sit there and have a conversation, or you're gonna throw sign language and all of these things, girl? What we gonna have that conversation, or we gonna do what? What you doing, boo? So as I was saying, since you know so much about me from this criminal,
documented, who's had to change his name, that wants to pull up. So let me ask you something. In divorce, when people file for divorce, do you understand that's not a lawsuit? That's a divorce where someone can throw out anything, which is where men across America, where women lie on them in court documents, have their kids taken from them, have their resources taken from them, because a woman wants to claim all this stuff, never claimed it before, but because she wants a dollar, because she is in.
Okay, I'm really considering moving on to Mike TV because I need somebody that's gonna be a little more assertive and not childish. No shade. It's just I need to get to the meat and the potatoes of this conversation, and I just don't need the theatrics. So I'm actually about to move on because people told me, they said, "Oh, you need to tune in to Duke the Don." This seems just like it's for entertainment purposes. I want to move on to someone that's getting down to what we all came here for. So shout out to Duke the Don, but I'm going to move on because I really need someone to get to the questions that we all have. And I felt like Mike TV did a great job about that. Now, y'all know I'm not here for the name calling, the B word. I'm not here for that. That don't have nothing to do with me. It don't. But that language was used in this video, in this live stream. I'm trying to pull it up here because I had it pulled up. Let me see. Did he remove it? I don't think so. I saved it anyway, but I'm like, did he remove it? Let me just double check. Because it was like a 7-hour live stream too. Oh, here it is. No, 8-hour live stream. Here it is. Here it is. So let me go ahead and pull this up because I felt like Mike TV did a great job with interviewing her as far as trying to get information that we all wanted to know. Also, the Black women on this panel also did a great job trying to get information out of her as well. So shout out to y'all. Okay, 2:30. Here it starts.
She said, and if you go to the playback, she said, I got billions with an S of views on my channel. No, she doesn't.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
You know how much a billion is? She's working with like 70 million views.
Exactly.
A billion,
100 million
views is like
views.
fucking China. A billion views is like India. A billion views is like half, like the majority of fucking Africa.
Hey, y'all, this is some sex. This is some she fucking with a Jedi, Mike a Jedi. You on here weird as fuck, Melanie. You see it. If you gonna troll in the comments like this, you weird as fuck. Grow up. You 41. Grow your grown ass up.
All right, Melanie Kiing has joined the show. Let's go ahead and properly set the stage. Before we get going, I've got 2 simple questions for you, and let's see if we can get 2 simple answers. Are you ready?
Now, are we going to have a conversation, or are you just going to throw out accusations? Or do you want to have a real conversation, like 2 adults, and get to any questions that you have?
Well, I'll repeat myself since you need
Because
clarification.
on the last one, you wouldn't answer, and then you hopped off.
Now I'm going to mute you because you're talking out of turn. I literally just told you what's about to happen. You don't understand, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm going to ask you 2 simple questions, and I hope to get 2 simple answers. And after these 2 simple questions and 2 simple answers are out of the way, we can discuss whatever you like. Do you agree to those terms?
Am I unmuted?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Let me hear what your questions are.
Okay. First question. Why are you here right now?
You lied and said in your stream that I was Melanie Kiing joins Mike TV. That was a lie, so I decided to join so you wouldn't be a liar.
So we did have a conversation earlier on Duke's show?
I did not join your channel. I joined this channel. So your title is a lie.
Does my channel say that Melanie Kiing joined Mike TV's channel? Or does
That's
it say
what it says.
Melanie
Kiing joins Mike TV. When did I join you? You joined his stream.
You joined me in a conversation.
You know that.
So if you really want to get caught up in semantics, if you're really up here saying that the answer to my question as to why you're here is because you think I lied about my title, so you're here so that my title isn't a lie, is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
That makes no sense, but I'll just get to my second question. Okay. Are you suing me?
Who said that?
I'm asking you a yes or no question. Are you suing me?
Am I currently suing you? No.
Do you have any
So
plans in the future
those
to
are your
sue
two
me?
questions. You said those were two questions. So those are two questions.
And you just try to pussyfoot around it. First you said, who said that? And then you said, well, am I currently suing you? No. So now we got to lock you down. Do you plan to sue me? Yes or no?
We're not discussing that right now.
We're discussing it right now. We're on my show, and I want to know if you plan to sue me. Why are you running from the question?
I'm not running from anything. I'd answer the question the way I want to answer it. That's it.
No, you're going to answer it the way that Mike wants you to answer it, or you can go back to streaming on somebody else's channel in your hotel room. You don't got to be here right now.
But my name is in your mouth every other day.
And obviously
your
name being in my mouth makes you feel some type of way because now you're here to talk to Mike.
No, actually, I had no idea you existed on the planet.
But you're
Earth
here to talk to
until
me
I got a
because I make
call.
you feel
I
some
got a
type of way, right?
call from two people this morning, and I was like, "Who? What? What are you talking about?" I was listening at my sister, and I was just like, "What happened? What are you talking
Guys,
about?"
your sister was on my show last night. Go ahead and check out the footage.
And so then I was just like, "Who is this dude?" Then I go through. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this dude got my name in his mouth every 2 seconds. I mean, full like
you
live
are
streams.
over here real pressed about it, Melanie. Why are you so mad that I got your name in my mouth? Is it because not just the fact that I have your name in my mouth, but is it really the fact that I've got documents that I revealed to the public that you didn't want people to be privy
What's that
to?
document? What's that document?
Oh, Melanie, don't act like you don't know what this is. Don't act like you don't know what these 37 pages are, Melanie. Exhibit A, your YouTube channel that your ex-husband said that you stole from your children.
Mike, can I ask you a question? Have you ever been married?
Let's go ahead
Have
and
you
do
ever been
some
married?
reading here. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of reading. This bitch is asking me my marital status. I don't want you, Grandma. I don't want you. It says right here, I'm also advised that you appropriated the Magic Mojo and Mommy Cray Cray YouTube channels for your own personal benefit and advantage by renaming from them to Melanie Kiing and the Melanie Kiing Podcast. So you telling me you couldn't just start your own channel? You had to steal your baby girl's channels and rename them as yours? Okay. Removing any reference to Mr. Burge and placing your own personal adult content on the channels. I'm advised that you have changed the status of these channels from public to private. Wow. The subscriber base consisting of 262,000 children remains the same, allowing you to make it appear that your adult content has generated a large amount of subscriptions and allowing you to generate a large amount of personal income from these channels to the detriment of the corporation. Damn. Damn. They also got screenshots where your current adult content is on and associated with these channels. Your use of offensive language such as suck a dick and shut up and I'm a loyal slut associated with these channels is not age appropriate and causes extreme confusion in the subscription base. You also posted a video of yourself to the Naya and Ellie TikTok page in which you asked the children's subscribers, does my makeup look slutty? God damn, if that ain't some predatory behavior, you got bullshit, red pill, manosphere talking points that you're projecting out to little children between the ages of 4 and 10, and you don't want to talk about this. You want to talk about whether I've been married before. Jesus Christ. I'm going to take you off mute and let's hear you explain this away.
You mute me every time you don't like what I say. So, so let me speak. Thank you. So what you're seeing right here, guess what? You go to those channels now, they still exist. So like this is none of your business, first of all. So that's why
are you here to defend it? It was none of my business. Then why are you here to defend it right now?
You made it my business when you decided to put my children's name in your mouth.
And how did I put your children's name in my mouth? Are you talking about when I read these documents? Because I read your
answer it, or are you going to overtalk me?
I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say on my channel. You ain't over on the non-show. You over here on my TV.
I know.
You obviously don't know.
You don't want a conversation. You want to be right.
Nah, because I'm not going to let you do the gaslighting, guys. I'm just not going to let her do the gaslighting. This woman just made a very interesting claim. She made a claim that, or at least she's trying to throw the wool over our eyes and say, well, my children's channels are still up right now, Mike. How did I change my children's channels if my children's channels are still up, Mike? This is how, because you were ordered to, you stupid bitch. Let's go to what they said you had to do here. Let's go to what you were required to do when you guys settled outside of court. Within 5 business days of appointing the custodian, they're going to pay you and Chris each approximately $83,338. Yep. They're also going to put $50,000 in a trust account for your children. Yep. But let's see what you were required to do when it comes to the channels and the accounts. Melanie will provide the custodian login and credentials so as to permit the custodian to fully control the following listed YouTube channels and social media accounts. So when you try to make the claim, oh, but if you go look up my girls' accounts, they're still there. The court told your ass to give up the passwords. They told you to put the control of the account with the custodian. That's why the channels are still up. But apparently you thought that I didn't have that paperwork also.
Am I able to answer now?
Yeah.
First of all, the court didn't order. The court didn't order anything.
No, it was a settlement. You guys chose to come together, and this is what you settled on. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes, what? Yes, it's right, or yes, it's wrong?
I'm answering your question. I said, you say, was that right? And I said, yes.
Okay. So when you said the court didn't order this, you guys came together and settled on this.
Do you want to hear what happened, or you don't?
I really don't give a damn. You're the one coming up here to disrupt my stream. But go ahead and talk a little bit
about my personal life. Okay. Oh, Jesus. All right. So y'all are so invested in my personal life. So I don't know. The reason why I asked you about your divorce, because I'm not trying to get into your personal business. I'm asking you this because I don't know if you know how these things work. So in a divorce, because you were so talking about all of the accusations, if you go to any lawsuit, which I explained to Duke as well, Duke the Don, anytime a person files what you call a lawsuit or anything else, this is not a lawsuit. This is part of the divorce proceeding. So when a person files for divorce, they can say anything. Even Duke said that his ex-wife did the same thing to him. I talk to people every day, especially men, where people.
So you're saying your husband's a liar?
Oh, absolutely. And that initial thing.
So what part was he lying about? Was he lying when he said that you locked them out of the children's YouTube channels?
No. So let me tell you.
Oh, wait, you said no.
I
so
was
you
finishing.
Did lock them out of the YouTube channels.
No, I did not. I'm finishing.
Woman, You said your ex-husband is a liar. I said, did he lie about you locking him out of the YouTube channels? And you just said no. So do you want to qualify your statements?
I keep trying to talk. You keep muting me and don't want to have a conversation. You
Because you
already
keep
have a
trying to go
bias and
all
an
the way over
agenda.
here when you need to stay
No,
right
I'm
here.
explaining it because just like you have spent hours, days, weeks, months talking about me,
What
I think
did
I
your
have. I think I
husband
can
lie
talk about
about?
it.
What did he lie about?
I told you everything in that initial filing.
So he
So
lied when
what
he
happened?
said that you stole $126,000 by running it up on the corporate card.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he
That's why you
lied when
see
he said that you promoted adult content to children between the ages of
absolutely.
4 to 10.
Absolutely.
So then what did
100%.
you do to that man if he felt the need to lie on you like that all of a sudden?
I don't. Listen. I don't know. Why do women falsely accuse
How
men of
long were you
anything?
guys married?
Why do women
How long were you guys
falsely
married?
accuse? We were married, if you want to consider the divorce proceedings, 11 years. Like
So hypothetically, for 11 years, you guys are happily married, and all of a sudden,
No,
he files a
no,
suit
no,
against
no.
you and claims that you
No.
locked him out of the channel, you spent
No, that was no, that's not
126,000
true.
on credit cards, and you're
That's
acting
not true.
predatory towards children.
No, Mike. So one of the things that happened is, like the reason why I asked, have you ever been married? When a person goes through divorce, the marriage is generally broken down way before somebody.
So at
files
what
for
point in
divorce.
time did the marriage get broken down? If you were married for 11 years,
I
at
don't
what year
know.
did it
I
get
don't know.
broken down?
I can't say it was a
You can't
progression.
say if it was year 4, it could have been year 6. You don't know.
I can't remember what year. It was just a progression of things that built up. When you're in a relationship, there's things that just start to stack up, and people grow distant. Things
But
break
at some
apart
point in
a
time,
marriage.
you guys grew so distant.
Well,
that
I'll
you
tell you.
decided
I'll tell you what was
to-
the real catalyst. I'll tell you what was the real catalyst.
I mean, we don't believe
So
anything you
what-
say, but
can I tell? Can I ask you? Okay. So the first catalyst that happened, our marriage was very distant for a long time, and but it stayed in it because when you have children, divorce. I was raised like divorces. You never can get divorced. Like if anybody who's raised religiously, I do not claim to be some big Christian woman. In fact, I've talked about this on my channel. Like I just want to throw it out there because people think I claim
Relevancy,
I'm a big
Your
Christian.
Honor. Relevancy. How is what
I'm
you're talking about right now relevant to what I asked you? You said that your ex-husband is a liar. I said, what did he lie about? You're saying everything. So then I asked you, what happened in your relationship that made a man that you were married to for 11 years all of a sudden decide to lie on you and say some very, very strange things? Why would he do that?
I don't know. Like people lie all the time when they file lawsuits or divorce complaints.
All right.
This is a standard practice as any attorney.
Well,
standard practice.
I understand
If
that you came up here-
accusations was enough to be true.
Yeah, I understand that you came up here for damage control, but it's not working for you. Nobody watching right now believes anything you're saying. We've already read through the documents in length. So if you're trying to convince us that you're telling the truth and that your ex-husband is a liar, we don't believe you.
Muted. I'm muted. I don't know what to say. So I was finishing the thing. So now I'm unmuted. You keep muting me. So when you don't like what I say.
No, we're just talking bullshit and deflecting.
You don't know it's bullshit. You don't know me. You don't know my life. If you're going to
I
ask
can
me a
see
personal
through
question,
you from
you
a
don't
mile
get
away,
to.
honey. You ain't doing nothing up here but deflecting.
All right, honey. Listen, honey. We can get into that. But
And now Melanie is slipping into one of her many split personalities. You know she was doing the things with the Muppets. The bitch is crazy.
you're not going to call me out my name and call me a bitch.
Yeah, well, you act like a bitch, I'll call you a bitch.
Well, you're acting okay. You know what? I'm not going to be the same as you. So
I'm just waiting on the lawsuit.
You asked me one question and you're skipping around. Stay focused. Stay focused.
You made some big threats. You're talking cash money shit. You won't tell me whether or not you're suing me, but on Duke's show, you was threatening a lawsuit, talking about your attorneys watching, the lawyers watching. So on the one hand, you want to threaten me with legal actions, but I can't call you a bitch. When if I was really going to call a spade, you were crusty, dusty, musty, washed up predator of a bitch, because them documents said you did some real strange things to some children.
Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Yeah. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. You done? You done? You done? You done? Okay. So like I was saying, so a marriage breaks down and any relationship breaks down over a number of years. I can't pinpoint anything, but I will say, so one of the things my sister said, she asked you why you are so gung-ho about me, because I, quote unquote, in your words, hate Black women and trying to tear them down. If you go to my channel and watch all of my videos, that's a lie. So if you go through my history and watch every single video, I call out BS when I see it. I don't care about race. So one of the things that happened was the godmother of my
Now, ladies, I want to point this out. The reason why Mike is going so hard is because she has been demeaning, belittling, shaming Black women for a while now, on very large platforms. So if you want to know why he's going so hard, that is why he's going so hard. Okay. I don't really agree with the B name. That's just me personally. I just don't agree with that. But that is why he's going so hard. And you will see as we continue on with this live stream.
Children that I trusted very much. I found out something that happened. I want to say
I don't care about that story about the godmother of your children. Nobody came to hear about that. So we're not going to let you start some long drawn out story about the godmother of your children.
That's part of my marriage story. You asked me that.
I never asked you what your marriage story was. I said, what'd you do?
You asked me why
to
it
the
broke
point
down.
where he
You
allegedly
said what
lied
happened.
and all of this is a lie. Well, then why would he lie? I didn't say
You
break
asked
down
me
your
about
whole
my
marriage
marriage.
from A to Z.
Yes, you did. You said what caused the breakdown of my marriage? Why did my marriage? What year and what caused
Then
it?
you better give us
That was your question.
You better give us Cliff
I'm
Notes
giving
then.
it to you, but you
Cliff
won't let me
Notes means
speak.
quicker, means faster,
Listen.
in a hurry. We don't need the woman's planning.
You can spend hours talking about me, but you need me to hurry up when I'm actually going to give facts, and it can't just be these shots that
You're
you
going
throw
to
out
do
over
what I
your
tell
own
you to
facts.
do, or you're going to
No,
leave.
I'm
It's
not.
that simple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Okay.
have two choices. You can submit and do what I tell you to do while you're a guest on my show, or you can leave and spend the rest of the night alone in your hotel room. Those are your options.
What? Oh, you got all day to talk about me. So you gonna let me finish now? I'm trying to explain. You want these answers? You've been asking. You've been calling me, summoning me up.
Ain't
So
nobody
here we go.
called you, and I already got the
Yeah,
answers.
let's
I
go
got
to
30
your
pages of
channel. Your
documents.
channel.
I
Your
got 30
channel has
pages of
my
documents
name.
on you, Melanie. I already got the
Let's see.
answers.
Your channel has my name in your mouth. Just your last 3 live streams are all about me. You got hours to do that, but when I come on to actually put my side of the story, you don't want that. You quote unquote call yourself a journalist or investigator. Then you need to. But you like curved me.
What you mean?
You didn't want to kiss me.
But that's like a live thing.
Why didn't you kiss me on live? Are you?
So where were your children at when you were lusting after MTR in that clip? Since you claim you have your
So
children
wait,
full
are
time.
we going back? Where are you jumping all over?
Where's your kids at when you were in MTR's apartment for the last few days?
Embarrassing me.
It's not about there's certain things that should be for
Do you want me
public
to
and certain
speak
things
on
that
the
should be
marriage
for
on this? Like you jumping all over.
Activities with whole tendencies. Hoes are your friends. Hoes are your enemies.
5 minutes and let her speak.
Hey, Melanie, you there?
Yeah, so I want to answer the question that he gave me. So what I was explaining is, you said that you report Black women. So one of the things is I found out in 2019, about December, that the godmother of my children, something was happening between her and my ex-husband. And
what
my
happened?
parents were there. I'm not going to go into that.
So
But
then
I'm
why
going
are
to
you
tell you
bringing
something.
it up if you're not
I'm
gonna go
going to
into
tell
it?
you something important. Let me speak. I'm going to give you something important. So I found out that do you guys remember when Black Lives Matter, somebody poured paint all over the Black Lives Matter?
Relevancy,
Did she do
Your
that?
Honor.
Did she do that?
Relevancy.
Yes, she
Okay, so
did.
she poured paint on somebody, on you, your
No,
husband, the
she
kids.
poured it on the Black Lives Matter, and I disassociated from her when she decided. You know those two crazy nuts that decided they were super Trump and they decided
Okay,
to pour
so that
paint
made
all
you
over
and your
that.
husband decide to go through a divorce?
No, I'm
Then what
not.
are you
Okay,
talking
so
about?
what?
You won't let me talk. I'm giving the story, so either let me give it or not, or you just
So
want to
Melanie,
just come up with whatever.
so
I want
Melanie,
to finish.
but
I want
what
to
you're doing
finish.
is you're
You're not
drawing it out.
letting
It's too
me
much.
Once again, I'm muted. As soon as I start speaking facts on my life that you guys have decided to make
What does
your
Black Lives Matter and
entertainment,
paint have to do with your life?
because I'm about to tell you, but you won't let me talk because you have an agenda and a bias, and you
I
don't
don't
want
have an
actual
agenda
facts.
or a bias. I'm just trying to
Yes, you
make
do.
it make sense. What bias do you believe I have?
What bias do you think she has, Melanie?
So, like I said, I found out about some things that happened, and I found out.
You just made a claim that she has a bias. You ain't gonna shy away from that. What bias are you claiming she has, Melanie?
So, I'm going to your original question because this is.
No, I want you to answer what bias you believe our other guest has.
Like, even people are telling you in your comments, let me speak.
I don't care what people in the chat is saying. I want you to.
Now, ladies, what have we been learning on this channel about discernment? Narcissism and toxic people tend to not answer questions directly. They will dance around them. They will not answer directly, right? They will dance around the question and then gaslight you and say, but I didn't lie. Okay? So you will see that a lot throughout this entire live stream. Okay? So be prepared for that. Sometimes you have to allow them to ramble, and then the truth will somehow come out, but you may miss it if you don't listen. Okay? So sometimes you just got to let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk. This has to build up a little bit. It gets juicier towards the middle and the end. So let's continue.
Answer the question. What bias do you think she has?
Clearly, you have a bias against me.
Don't talk about my bias. Talk about her bias. You just claimed that this woman who
What was that addressed to me?
has a
Was that
bias.
addressed to me, Melanie? Were you saying clearly I have a bias? Were you addressing that to me?
No, I was talking about the channel. You guys have a bias in
It
general.
didn't sound like you was talking about the channel. It sounded like you was talking
Well, I'm
about her
telling you. So either you're going to tell me what I'm thinking in my head. You don't live in my head. You're not God. So I'm answering the questions. You interrupt me every time I try to give facts. You spend all day talking about my personal life. So now I'm
And
explaining.
you spent all day talking about everything but the topic at hand, which is these court documents that we ran through.
Okay, Melanie. So we already talked about the paint. We talked about the best friend. Let's push past that. We got that part of it. Let's move past, like, what does this have to do with your marriage being dissolved and the children? We there? Can we get to that point? We don't have to draw out.
So he kept. In fact, she actually worked in his ministry, and I begged him to take her off of there, especially because they had an interpersonal relationship that was inappropriate. And then I found out what she did with that, and was basically a criminal. And so what I found, and they had something inappropriate. So we went to marriage counseling. I tried to stay in the marriage. I tried to work through it, and he wouldn't disassociate from her. and now I found out really why. And so
Were they in a relationship? Is that why he didn't disassociate with her?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
So
so
you're
that
saying
makes
your
sense.
ex-husband cheated on you?
I don't know if it was sexual, but
Cheating
I
is
found
cheating.
out. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna say it was sexual. I don't have facts. I'm not gonna throw out something.
So why does it take you 20 minutes to say my ex-husband cheated?
Because I think things have context. Things aren't black and white. We're not children. Like they
And,
used to
and,
say,
we, and we also
Black
don't
Lives
need
Matter
a 30
gets us to
minute.
cheating.
Yeah, come on. I don't see how Black Lives Matter and paint and all this shit segues into your husband cheating. We need your answers quicker than this.
I speak the way I speak. I don't know. I'm not like you call me
That's
old and
valid.
I'm a grandma. So
That's valid.
like,
I can take that.
Like I can either explain it or not. It's like you want me to get to a point. I speak how I speak.
So you're claiming that your husband lied and everything in the suit and that he cheated on you.
I want to make this clear because I do not throw out false accusations. I do not know about a sexual relationship, but I do know she was dangerous in my opinion, and she denigrated Black people.
So can we say that she was dangerous because she could manipulate your husband? Because you're saying that he must have had some type of, he believed in her more than you.
Have you seen the video of what happened with the Black Lives Matter paint and seen how insane it was? Like
What does
literally
that got to
criminally
do with
insane.
you and your husband? Did they go throw the paint, Melanie? Like, why you keep going back to that? Like,
What are you talking about right now? Honestly, I don't understand where we're going with this. You're trying to say that your husband lied when he said you locked him out of the YouTube channel, rebranded it as your channel, and then spent $126,000 on corporate credit cards.
I said it was false.
We ran through everything, and you're saying it's false, but you can't provide no evidence.
Where does the final judgment say that I did that?
The final judgment showed that you're required to relinquish control from the channel and give it to a custodian, and that you and your husband were both paid out about $83,000.
So let me tell you what happened.
So if the settlement said that you had to give up control of your channel, then that means you did take control of it. Obviously, the settlement proves that some of that had to have been factual, or else you wouldn't have settled to give up the channel to a custodian.
Okay. So back on point. So what happened was that so if you want to skip all of that, you asked me one question, you don't want those answers because you don't like them. So now we're going to move the goalpost back over here. So now we'll get into this. I control the channels from day one. I've always controlled the channels.
We don't believe you, so you don't have to get into a long drawn out thing about you controlling channels. I don't care about that. Nobody asked you about that.
You just asked me about the channels, and I locked him out, and I'm explaining it. Every time I start to explain it, you don't like it, so you mute me, so you don't have to hear the truth.
Because Melanie is so much to where a person loses track. Like you do this babbling to where it's almost like a person doesn't even remember their question because you go on about everything else. Like
you skip around
and that's exactly what she likes to do. That's why she was just on with Duke for damn near 3 hours, not saying anything, deflecting and detracting. Come on now. You ain't gonna get on my TV and do a whole bunch of word salad. I'm not going for it. So if I say, is your husband lying? And you say he is, and we say we don't believe you, then there's nothing else to talk about. We don't need an explanation. We don't need you to try to convince us to believe you. We don't believe a damn thing you say. How can we trust a bitch who rearranges her face and don't tell nobody?
My personal life. If you have a narrative on my personal life and you want to keep spinning these narratives and falsehoods, then it is what it is. Either you want the facts and have a conversation, or you want some gotcha moment to keep
You came to me. Views. I did not go over to your channel, so I don't want or need anything. I don't want, need, nor desire to get anything from you. You're here with an agenda.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, I'm with an agenda. All right. So we're going to ignore what your channel does.
So is it not an agenda, Melanie, if you're trying to clear up what's being said about you? If
you won't
feel
let
like,
me talk. You won't let me talk. You have an agenda of what you believe.
If we're two women talking, I'm trying to talk to you. Like I allowed you to speak. I didn't speak over you. And what I'm saying is if you feel the agenda is that we're trying to set you out to be something that you're not, and you're trying to say Mike has your name in his mouth, this all comes from you being on a podcast where a woman basically tried to rewrite Black history. So it's like we're trying to figure out, how is this Black woman that talks so much about women need to know their place and they need to know like how to treat a man and how to get a husband, how is she allowing this white woman to talk these points? Like you never said anything about that. If we want to pivot, let's pivot to some real shit, since you want to know why Mike got your name in his mouth.
Like I said, this conversation's all over the place. You go from this thing to this thing, now it's to a podcast. Like, can we keep some?
You wanted to know how it started. That's how it started. So now you know the origin story of how you got here.
Actually, no. He's been making videos about me way before I was on there. So that's a lie.
Yeah, and you know what? That shocked me too, girl. Why? You were nice the way you looked. What about you did you feel you needed to change so much that you look like a totally different person?
I'm not going there.
So once again, to stay on topic.
No, she asked you a very specific question from a woman to a woman, from one Black woman to another. Be respectful and answer her question.
No, first of all, you're asking me, do you realize how?
To me, a better question is why she did that to herself, and then why she makes fun of Black women when it comes to like Western women, modern women, Black women, plastic surgery, BBLs, really any of that. Like, why do you talk down on those women when you've done so much to your appearance? That's the only thing that I care about. It's like, don't you think that's a little hypocritical for you to do that? Because you went out and you changed yourself to make yourself feel better, and now you're placing judgment on other women who are doing the same thing. That's what's weird for me. I really don't care about her changing her appearance, rearranging her face, whatever she wanted to do. Listen, it's not my business. It's not my body. I don't care. But then when you pass judgment on the next woman, that's what I don't understand. That's the part that I care about. Is like, what's the reason for that?
You're going to answer her question or you're going to leave the show right now. You have two options. This is a dictatorship. It's not a democracy. You answer or you leave.
Okay, yeah, I see what this is. All right.
Don't let
Have
the
a good
door
night.
hit you on your way out, Grandma.
Hold
Have a good night.
on. Hold those points. At a couple of yes or no answers. Now, Melanie.
You know, guys, I'm sorry. I'm too heated. I'm too emotional. I'm gonna drop myself.
No, bro, please. Please? Pretty please?
I believe it's just you and Melanie now. You can go ahead and speak with her. Mike has dropped himself away.
Okay, now, Melanie.
Mhm.
Are you?
What's your name, sir?
Oh, my name is Leonard. Leonard Roy. You can Google me.
Okay, hi,
Leonard
Leonard.
Remix
Okay.
Roy. Historic house music DJ, Chicago
I just-
icon. I'm that
No, it's
dude.
just- no,
Book
your name
sales
wasn't
and
on
all that. Okay,
Your
I'm
name-
getting it in.
but- No, your name wasn't on there. So I just like when I'm having a conversation, just like the
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Leonard, just Leonard, or Len the Nerd, as some used to call me in the hood. Now,
Okay.
you are legally correct. I mean, not correct. You are legally divorced. Yes or no?
Correct.
Correct. So that's a yes answer.
Mhm.
You have primary custody of the children that were conceived in the marriage.
I have
Incorrect
soul.
or correct?
I have soul.
What's the difference between sole and primary?
When the other parent is completely absent, physically, and not seen or talked to your children in over a year, I think most people consider that sole custody.
Well, considered and legally, because see, I divorced 3 women. I'm a divorce expert. Okay.
Okay.
Sole custody, the way you're trying to describe it, means he does not have to pay child support. See, your definition of sole custody is just like if I marry a woman that has children and I adopt them, and it absolves the man of all responsibility of the children. So sole and primary custody, they're the same thing. That's the reason I asked, do you have
Oh,
primary?
I remember this picture. What year was this? This was like 2000 and.
I'm not talking about the picture. We're having
Well,
a
it's up there.
conversation.
So y'all are so excited about what I look like. I'm just.
You were so
I'm not
pretty
excited
though.
about
I thought you were so pretty.
I think I'm pretty too. I
So
can
why
show you
don't you
pictures.
change so
I
much?
can
Hey,
give
baby
y'all- I
girl,
can give y'all more.
hold on now.
Okay.
My apologies, Leonard. My apologies.
Okay. All right, now. Oh, am I unmuted now? I guess I'm unmuted. I don't know. Someone had to tell me.
No, you're on mute. I can hear you, Leonard.
Okay. I'm not getting into your personal appearance. You know, I'm a lighter skinned brother than you are a light skinned black woman. What you see on the camera here actually is a Georgia tan because, you know, I've been getting some sun trying to, you know, bronze myself. So, you know, I'm not talking about the picture. I'm on the legal standings and everything because you asked Mike, well,
Okay.
were you married and this and that? Like, that's a one up. You are talking to a man that has divorced 3 different women. I filed.
Mm.
Now, if a man, statistically, 69% of women, not just black women, nationwide, divorce men. 31% of men divorce their woman. So if a man divorces his wife, it's definitely something wrong with that woman.
That's not true.
Oh, it's not?
I mean,
Prove with the numbers.
okay, the numbers are not my personal information, my personal life. I mean, I can give you.
I'm not asking you about your personal life.
We gotta do a quick swap out. Jessica D wants the stage with Melanie.
Wait, did they take him out?
Yeah, because he was Melanie. I don't know where he was going with that.
Y'all
but
didn't even tell him. Dang.
But I think what kind of does make sense. It would, as a woman who I'm just thinking, as our youth, looking to you as someone saying that.
I think she cut out. I think she cut out. Is it me or can y'all hear?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay,
now I
so
can hear
as like, you know what a rebellious woman is, you know what like 304s look like and what a man doesn't want. Me as a grown woman, I would not feel comfortable allowing my young nieces or young daughter to listen to you when you're divorced and you didn't divorce, but your husband divorced you. So I kind of see how that's a bad look. And it does kind of make us wonder, like, if you're such a good woman and you're able to teach the youth why they shouldn't be 304s anymore, why would a man leave you?
Well, you know, okay, there's a couple questions. There was a couple things in there. So if I'm such a good woman, I've never claimed to be a good woman. If you've ever watched my channel, which I feel like a lot of you guys have not, I've actually owned up and said one of the reasons why I got on the journey to do this, because instead of what a lot of people will do after divorce, a lot of women, you know, blame the man, you know, do all of, you know, and deflect. I chose to look at myself and say, like, regardless of what he did, regardless of how I feel about that, at the end of the day, I can only own me. I can only be accountable for what my part that I played in it. So I went on a journey to really, you know, self-reflect, see what are the issues that I have. Now,
I actually think it is a badge of honor to not file or cheat. And actually, this is why a lot of men follow me, because I'm one of the few women who did not file or cheat. And
But you allege that your husband, now you didn't say physically cheat, but he definitely had some type of like what's the word I'm looking for? I want to make sure I say the right word. Like he believed in your friend more than he did you, to a point where you felt like it was putting tension in the marriage. So like you did, there was a reason, right?
I wouldn't say believed in. No, I didn't divorce because of that. I actually tried to stay for my children, because at the end of the day, he was my belief was that he was a good father, and he was, and I still, when he was active in their lives while we were married, he was a great father.
So what about you couldn't be a good wife for a good father to good children? What about Melanie? Because you said you own your badge. So tell us what's on your badge? What's on your coat that says Melanie's grown from whatever took her out of that marriage? Because that's what it's looking like, especially when a man has a foul paperwork, because he felt like you were being deceptive to the family. You were using the children. So what's on your badge?
No. So that's actually a false claim. So that's why I was trying to explain the divorce thing, but we've kind of like jumped all over the place.
So your husband put a false claim, or?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. That was 100% false claim, just like anybody does in divorce. Just like if you ever broken up with somebody and somebody talks ish and lies on you, like in a lawsuit, just because somebody said something and filed something doesn't make it gospel, doesn't make it facts, doesn't make it true. And that's what I was trying to explain.
But you're able to rebuttal though, right? Like I don't understand. Like even if you feel like it's taking you out of I guess like a traditional woman to go against your husband, but my God, you'll wear a scarlet letter of lies. That's what you're telling me? You would do that?
Wait, what?
You'll wear a scarlet letter of lies because you're saying the things he put in that
letter. A scarlet letter was actually, if you look at the historical facts.
But we're talking about for you. That's why I said of lies. That's why I said of lies.
The opportunist in Melanie.
We gonna do over here. I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna step in my purpose. I'm gonna call those things.
Okay, so I wanted to switch gears. I don't know if you guys heard me. I'm sorry. I wanted to switch gears here because this was another video that was done by Ringo TV. I believe that's the name. And she talks a little bit about her divorce at a later time. So let's just play this video.
Things out that need to be called out, and I'm going to help the Black community in particular.
Are you serious? Are you serious, Melanie? Let's just stop the cap. You don't care about the Black community. You don't live in the Black community. You don't represent the Black community. You never did. But all of a sudden now, you feel that your calling, mind you, is to speak on the Black community. I tell you, man, the opportunist in Melanie is clearly seen. If you can't see that, something's wrong with you.
Which I've always felt a call for.
She says she always felt a call for. She always felt a call for to speak on the Black community. That's a lie. No. You see a money-making opportunity. That's what you see. Because.
And I just want to say this real quick. Are y'all not tired of talking about the Black community? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about the Black community. At this point, if you want to do your part, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, are you doing your part as far as how you show up in the world? That's it. Focus on you showing up. That's it. Okay? That's it. If everyone would just turn to their mirror and focus on themselves, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Instead of trying to tell people what to do, control people, tell people, how about you just be that example, right? You talk it, you walk it, you are it for your children. How about we just focus on that? Because this, what's it called? SBE? Shame, blaming, and explaining. That shit ain't working. Some of y'all it ain't working. The world isn't becoming better. If anything, it's getting worse. So why not just pull back your energy, put the focus on you, your family, your children, and be the example. If every person were to do that, the community would improve overnight. Wouldn't you think? just something to think about. But trying to be the spokesperson, I think we're beyond that now. I think it's time for us to focus on ourselves, go to therapy, focus on our children, break generational curses within the family, and keep it at that. Because you're not going to be able to save everybody anyway. But this SBE, it just needs to stop. It's not working. It's not. If anything, it's making people angry. It's making people more aggressive. People are wanting to argue, debate, and we just don't get anywhere. There's no real solution. So I think people need to just turn to their mirror and just focus on themselves.
Because if we take away the money, would you stand up and speak for the Black community? You see, Melanie, when I was on YouTube from 2006, I've been putting in work for years. There was no ad revenue. We weren't getting paid. But I had the passion and the call to speak truth to power. And I did it faithfully. No one paid me. There was no cash apps. There was no super chats. There was no PayPals. There was nothing. You had to do what you do because you loved it. But you are being motivated by the dollar. You're not being motivated by the love for the Black community. So stop it, because we're not buying that nonsense. We can see the hidden agenda. Let's go.
Not just the Black community, but the greater community. But
Now it's not the Black community, but the greater community. Make up your mind which community you want to speak for. Now check this part out, fam.
got to start with the people that look like me.
You got to start off with the people that look like you. So now all of a sudden we look like you. But if you look at all of your older videos and the kitty videos, you were looking like the other people.
Ladies, I've been trying to warn you about this for some time now. Black women, come to the front real quick, okay? Now, I know a lot of people are denouncing and separating themselves from Black manosphere and everything because they're being investigated by the FBI. But they do this thing. If they are SBE, they are part of Black manosphere. They shame, blame, and explain to women. That's what they do. It's a manipulation tactic. Accountability is truth. I keep telling y'all that. Shame, blame, and explain is manipulation. Truth, you can't really run from that. You can run from shame. You can run from blame. You can run from a person who's trying to explain to you while shaming and blaming you, but you cannot run from the truth. That's what accountability is. It's truth. It's confidence too when you can own it, right? So a lot of these male podcasters, Black manosphere, content creators and things like that, they like to shame, they like to blame, and then explain where you went wrong with your life. And you guys feed into it every day. It's sickening to watch. It really is. It's very sickening. If you need help, I recommend therapy. There are therapists on YouTube. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I try to share them constantly on my community tab. Not sure if you're tapping into that. And when you tap into their content, your nervous system is not activated. Oh my gosh. You're not subjecting yourself to verbal abuse when you listen to real therapists, counselors who are actually giving away free time to help you, to actually help you, because they could charge you, but they're doing it for free. They're giving out free information. So ladies, okay, I just told you what they're doing. I just gave you the formula. It's SBE. Shame, blame, and explain. Accountability, real accountability is truth. Real confidence is accountability and ownership. So let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. If you really need help, there are therapists on YouTube. To subject yourself to verbal abuse, that just does not make sense to me.
You are wearing wigs like the other women. It doesn't appear to me that you want to be where we are. You weren't living in the Black community. You weren't around Black people. You didn't even talk like the average Black person. I got receipts for days. Trust me, you don't want no smoke with Ringo TV Raw. We're the best in the game with the reaction videos. Let's go.
And to call things out and to say, you know, enough is enough. And
So now you're here to call things out. You're here to say enough is enough, right? But you weren't calling nothing out when you was making the kitty videos. You weren't calling nothing out when you were married, right? But now that you're not married, now you want to call out things in the Black community, but you don't want to call out anything in the other communities. Ain't that ironic, fam? How people that live the luxurious life, the high life, fancy cars, fancy homes and cars and clothes, when things fall apart, all of a sudden now, the first thing is get into the ministry and or speak about the Black community.
you know, I'm thankful to Kevin Samuels because
Now she's thankful for Kevin Samuels. Oh boy, man. How much promotion? How much times are you going to thank him? But I never heard you thank your own husband. So your husband didn't teach you anything? Everything you learned about being a so-called woke woman came from Kevin, but nothing came from your man in whom you claim you got with because he was in the ministry?
he really helped renew my mind.
He helped you renew your mind. The Bible says to be renewed by the word of the Most High, not the word of Kevin Samuels. So your mind have not been removed. Your mind have been perverted.
Just some of the feminist mindsets that I've had that really
You still have feminist mindsets. You just are not dealing with it.
have decimated the Black community.
Now you concerned about the Black community being decimated. Stop the cap, fam.
Have really have us in our worst.
I do have a question though. Why is feminism so threatening to men in their manhood? I don't understand that. Like, why are men threatened by women having equality rights? Because that's what feminism is. Now, me personally, I don't consider myself a feminist because I felt like over the last few years, it has become really extreme. And I just don't align myself with some of those things. Like, I can't do what a man can do, nor do I want to. But when it comes to true feminism, at the core of what feminism is, it's about women, equality, and a patriarchy. That's what it's really about. Why are men threatened by that? Why does that threaten a man's manhood for women to have equality and rights in a system that really wasn't made for us either as women? And then especially as Black women, it wasn't made for us. So why are men threatened by that? It just doesn't make sense. It's very weird to me. You're a man, you're born in a system that was made for men, but I was born in a system that wasn't made for my skin and it wasn't made for my gender either. So I don't understand. It's just a question that I have. Why are men threatened by that? It doesn't make sense, but I'm going to switch back to Mike TV. I just wanted to show you guys this clip here. I may switch back again. I may go back and forth. But I just want a man to answer that. Like, why do you guys care? It doesn't make sense. Like a woman, why are you threatened by her? I don't get that.
I added lies, so I didn't just say a scarlet letter.
Oh,
I said
wait,
a scarlet
I'm wearing
letter
a
of lies.
scarlet letter. Who's wearing a scarlet letter of lies? Like,
You are, because you said that your husband lied on you.
reframe it? Can you reframe
Okay.
it real quick?
Okay, so
I think I'm not getting it. It's like, I don't know what time
Okay,
it is
so-
for y'all, but it's like 6 a.m. and I've been up. It's like,
okay, so basically, you said that what your husband said, there are accusations they are not true. What he put into that
false.
document.
100%.
Okay, so you never rebutted back. There's nothing in that paperwork that says, "Hey, Melanie
did.
actually rebutted."
Yes, it
What,
did.
what
So-
page?
so
what
no,
page?
that's why that's you're looking at one document.
Can you
So-
bring up yours, because it'll help. It'll help
No.
us understand where you're coming from. Because
I
right
don't-
now,
y'all have okay. You're not letting me talk. Like, you asked me, and then if I say something, you're not going to believe me anyway. So like, either you want to know my personal story, and I'm going to tell
not
you,
the story,
or what?
Melanie, but just the answer to the question. I don't need the personal story, just the answer to the question.
What's the thing? Why didn't I rebut? I did, because when you file for divorce, when a person files for divorce, you have 30 days to do a response. So I filed a response saying it was all lies.
So can we pull that
and
up?
we had
We had documentation. I don't have that on me right now. Since y'all
No,
go
I'm
so
saying
much,
no. I'm saying is that public record? Is your rebuttal public
yes,
record?
yes, it's part of a divorce proceeding. This is basic standard knowledge. If anybody who knows anything about the legal system, this is basic. Anytime anybody files a lawsuit and or a divorce, like a file for divorce, you have to respond within 30 days legally. So that's what I did. My lawyers did.
But you don't have.
Hey, wait, hold on, guys, real quick. I'm gonna mute everybody for just a second, and then we're gonna keep it showing. She claimed she had proof, yet she settled. If she actually had proof, and if he was really just lying, then why did she agree to settle? It don't make no goddamn sense. But I digress. Unspoken vibes. Go ahead, Hop.
Yeah, okay. I just want to address this real quick. So, you said that your husband basically made those lies about you locking out the kids' accounts for the YouTube, correct? At Melanie Kiing, was it correct that you said your husband lied when he said that you locked him out the kids' YouTube account?
I can't hear. It's breaking up. Hold on, it's breaking up. I can't hear. I can't hear.
Amaris, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay, well, she can't hear me, guys, so I don't know. Mike, you just might have to drop me down.
If you can hear, can you repeat his question? I can't hear. It's breaking up for me.
Oh, he said, well, I'm sorry, say it one more time, because if you can't hear, I could hear him. Say it one more time, and I'll repeat it for her.
Okay, I got you. So she said that her husband was lying when he said that she locked him out of the kids' YouTube account. Is that correct?
You heard that, Melanie?
I didn't. For some reason, it's breaking up for me.
Okay, he said, so is it a lie when your husband said that you locked them out of the children's YouTube accounts? Is that a lie?
Yes.
Okay, so is she aware that her sister came on Mike's live last night and said that her husband actually funded the accounts, funded the YouTubes? So why would he have to lie about that?
Is anyone talking?
Melanie, I know you can hear him. Come on, girl. Let's not do
I
it.
cannot hear. I cannot hear. I don't see.
He said that your sister said that your ex-husband funded those accounts.
Wait, what?
Your sister
came on last night and said that your husband funded all of the YouTube accounts that are attached to your children's names that are still the accounts you are using to this day.
I don't believe she said that, and because she
did. It's on live. If you want to check my TV channel, you can.
That's not true. So either she misspoke or that's been misrepresented, but that's absolutely not true. So.
Well, when you were on three-way with her last night, you should have probably cleared that up because it is on Mike's. Well, whatever. She wasn't. Well, you should have had her.
I didn't know about this. I didn't know about this until this morning.
Well, she was on here this morning, so it was three-way this morning. But what I'm saying is, it's like with your sister, Melanie.
Who she was on three-way with me?
With you, yeah.
And my sister was not on three-way on.
Then how you already got a lawsuit ready for Mike? Then when you talk to your sister, how you get a lawsuit together?
I didn't say I have a lawsuit together.
You definitely said some lawyers are going to be talking to Mike. So how you get all this information?
I never said my lawyers.
Okay, we got to go back to Dukes. Then we got to go back to Dukes.
Yeah, read exactly what I put. Read exactly.
No, because you said no. Hold on. Are my lawyers listening? You lean forward and act like you were tuning into something so you can record or whatever that is.
So
And she also said that she's making sure to screen record for her attorneys. But listen how she wants to play chicken shit and act like a little bitch when she's up on the panel now. Now she don't want to talk that lawyer shit. But on Duke's show, she want to threaten lawsuits and this and then that. Look at how these modern women behave.
All right, so I guess I'll move ahead with the next question real quick. So on your kids' YouTube channel, Mommy Cray Cray, and it was the other one. Is it correct that you changed the name to Melody Kiing or Melody Kiing Podcast? She's saying she can't hear me again.
She hear you. I can't be doing this. If you gonna play these childish ass games, Melanie, girl, you hear this man. Stop playing.
I didn't hear him, so I don't know what to tell you.
How the hell you hearing me then?
I've been sitting here talking to you, answer questions. Like I'm not on here to cap and say I can't hear. If it's breaking up for me on my end, I took my headphones out to see if it was that.
Okay, while they're having their technical difficulties, I have Uncle Rico. Before I bring you on, the question is, why are men threatened by feminism? Feminism. It's not sexual liberation. It's not 304 culture. It's not twerking. The core of feminism is simply this: women having equal rights and equality in a patriarchy system that was created by men. Why are men threatened by that?
Good afternoon, Yanni.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Let me just first say thank you for your streams. I've been watching them the last couple of weeks. They've been pretty informative and much needed. So I thank you for your leadership in this space.
Thank you.
I will say this. The way I think of it is from the standpoint, I guess, let's be honest, we're talking about Black men, because I don't honestly think, the white men are as intimidated by feminism as, say, Black men or maybe some other minorities. And I think it's simply because for me, I've always told Black men that they spend too much time focusing on feminism, which isn't our problem. And I'm a Black man myself, but where we fall in a hierarchy of patriarchy. Patriarchy is our problem. And I've also tell them all the time that we could do everything that we want to stamp out feminism. It will not move Black men not 1 inch on the hierarchy of patriarchy, where white men sit at the top. So I think it's pointless to be battling a fight that's just dumb. You know, the only allies as Black men that we have are Black women. They're the ones who have stood by us through everything we've been through. But for some reason, I guess it's the art of punching down, you know, and we're not even winning that battle itself. So we look at these places. So if we get into these spaces where if you say something, Yanni, that will tickle my ear as a Black man, that will somehow make me feel empowered, although I have no power, then I gravitate towards it. And that's what we find in this situation.
Do you think that Black women have overcompensated the Black man as far as trying to build him up to feel empowered, even though he was never in that position? Do you think we overcompensated that?
Yeah. So you're speaking to the fragility. Yes.
Right.
I think to a point more than what's necessary. And I try to tell Black men, it's not Black women's responsibility to heal us. You know, I always practice the philosophy, or my thought is, the only person that's responsible for healing a broken person is the broken person themselves, and the person, maybe the person that broke them.
Right.
But
right.
all others have no responsibility. So I really don't believe these young men are as broken as they believe they are. They're just fed this endless stream of, you know, it's sort of like they're being taught to go after things that they don't necessarily need. So they feel a lack of it makes them feel less than. And they overlook the valuable things in their life that actually exist. So if they can't get what they want, while they may not need it, they're going to be upset about the very thing that they have, which they believe makes them feel less than adequate. And again, I constantly fight back and push back on this. Why are you beating up your only allies? Because without Black women, we ain't got nothing else. We really don't. There's nobody else. There will be no other community, you know, championing for us. But it's like talking to a wall. It just really is. There. And I will say this: the thing that makes me feel a little bit good is that I know that this is the YouTube space phenomenon. It is starting to spill out, but I know a lot of young Black men who don't even traffic in this, thank God, who don't listen to this. And but it's just the number, if it's 20-25%, that's too much.
Right.
That's too high of a number.
So this is my question. With you having this knowing, right? What advice would you give to Black women? What should they do? What should they focus on?
I mean, it's hard because you don't never want to tell an ally not to be supportive. But it's like, and for full disclosure, I'm an older Black man. I'm 58. So I say I speak from a space that, like, I'm an ally of a lot of communities. But as an ally, I try to tell people, don't get in front. An ally should be in the back. So if I'm an ally for women, so Yanni, I would never be on a panel or a space about women and talking more than you. That's not my space. I'm just there to support you. I'm there to do more listening than talking. I think Black women do too much. Even when we look at a lot of the criminal justice stuff, while we may be the larger percentage of people who get caught up in it, I tell people all the time, Black women love Black men more than we love you guys back, and even more than we deserve. And that's just a fact. As a Black man, I know that. You just gotta let us stand on our own. You gotta push them. I'm not saying, I'm not talking divester terminology.
Right.
I'm just saying you got to stop babying us.
Right.
Especially
Hands off.
these are adult grown men. And if they want to be alpha, all this other stupid stuff they talk, then let them be it.
Right.
And if not, continue for every black sister out there, continue doing what you're doing, continue driving. Don't make any excuses. Don't say you sorry. Be the best that you can be, and that's all there is to it. But do what you're doing, Yanni. Just keep doing your thing.
Thank you, Uncle Rico. I appreciate you for coming up here and sharing that. I really do.
All right. Thank you for letting me up.
You're welcome. You have a nice day.
You too.
Woo. I've been telling y'all. I feel like I'm just speaking in circles at this point. Black women need to just focus on themselves. It was a lesson I had to learn with my own brothers. You know, they just gonna have to figure it out. And it's hard, right? Because you love them, you do. But sometimes you got to learn how to love people from a distance. And yes, it's hard to watch, it's hard to witness, but sometimes that is what it takes. And Black women just don't know how to just let go. Just let go. They'll figure it out. Wish them well. It's real simple.
It's still breaking up. Like, don't tell me.
Repeat what you said, sir, so somebody can help Melanie.
Can someone else repeat what he's saying? I cannot hear him. It's coming in muffled and broken up. I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, Amos, if you could just do me a favor and answer this. She said it is a
I'm
lie.
not seeing anything. Are y'all talking? I
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir, and talk.
I hear you, but I don't
Okay,
hear
okay, he gonna repeat it, Melanie. He gonna repeat it.
Okay, yes. Ask her if she said it's a lie that she changed the kid's YouTube channel name to Melanie Kiing and Melanie Kiing Podcast.
He wants to know if it's a lie if you change the kid's name, Melanie, on the YouTube podcast. Did you change it to yours from Mommy Cray Cray to Melanie Kiing? Did you do that, or is that a lie?
Okay, so I'm thinking that y'all are so disrespectful. Jesus, with a name called, it's so childish. Like, either you want information or you
Melanie, I just said it.
I can't, no, because I'm just seeing the names of these. It's just insane. So anyway, that's a lie. So I don't want the answer. Y'all just want a yes or no. So I'll just leave it at that.
So will you be? So will you be like filing charges against your ex-husband for defamation? Like,
no, my divorce is over with.
So what was finalized? You okay with him just having all these lies on public record about you?
Yeah, because it was proven false, and final record proved it. I don't go back and forth throwing shots with people. That's not my personality.
Then why are you here?
Because you're speaking on me and my children. In my personal life. Like, why are you talking about my personal life? Why are you so invested in my life?
So you pull up to every channel who speaks about
No,
you?
no,
Every
this is the
YouTuber?
first time.
Wait. Every YouTuber who makes a stream about you, you come up and talk to them?
No.
Then what's so special about me?
You seem to have a deep obsession with my personal life, and you decided to pull up my documents.
So because you think I have a deep obsession, that's
You
what's special
do.
about me?
You do.
Or is it the
You
fact that I'm the only YouTuber who pulled up the receipts on your ass, where your
Only
husband
person-
said
that's
you stole the
somebody-
YouTube channel,
Right.
locked him
Here.
out of the account, and then
Here.
spent $126,000 on the corporate credit cards, and then started pumping out adult content to your children's 262,000 young subscribers who are between the ages of 4 and 10. But you came up here on Duke Show, you came up here on my show to give us a whole bunch of womanese because you can't run from these receipts. But you can deflect from them. You can deflect.
Okay. Is that a question? I don't know.
I have a question.
And Jessica D, you're finally off mute. Go ahead, Jessica.
Thank you, Mike. I have a question, Melanie. So when you talk about modern women, this rebellious women, that are you projecting? Because it seems like that umbrella that you cast on women, particularly Black women, a lot of these things pertain to you. We've seen you on camera drunk twerking. We know that you're a single mom. What makes you qualified to provide relationship advice to anybody when you yourself have a failed marriage?
I don't know. Nothing makes me qualified. But if people rock with me and they feel like it resonates with them, it's up to those individuals. If you don't rock with me, you don't rock with me. If you don't think I'm qualified, I'm not qualified. I'm not here to, everybody doesn't have to like me or like what I have to say, but the people who do, they do.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked if you're projecting is because you seem to have a lot of negative energy, a lot of vitriol for Black women in particular. And
Where?
I'm just trying to understand where.
Where? Tell me specifically
yeah,
where
I
I've
can
had
give you a
vitriol for
specific
Black women that I
example.
have not had. And when you say vitriol, tell me exactly what
Vitriol, as in the energy, the hate that you spew.
Give me specific. Energy is very vague term. What's energy? I need
You know exactly what I'm
things I've
talking about.
said.
I can give
I
you
don't.
specific.
I deal with facts and specifics.
Yeah, so let me finish. I can give you an example. An example is when that young lady with the blue hair was on King Rich's show, and she was just expressing her perspective on something. And before she could even get her word out and finish her sentence, you guys kind of just like dogged on her and started really like screaming at the girl, saying she's rebellious, she doesn't follow men, she's this and that. And I just want to know why this young lady needed to subject to or submit to King Rich's when that's not her husband. Your whole point during that whole session was you're a rebellious woman, you should submit to men, you should submit to this and that, and you were just completely misquoting the Bible the entire time. Ephesians says women should submit to their husband. Wives, submit to your husband, not some random podcaster who's screaming at you at the top of his lungs. So what are your thoughts on that? That's
didn't Mike tell me to submit to him, and isn't he a random podcaster on his
We're not
platform?
talking about Mike. We're talking about you.
No, I'm saying just if you want to
give you an example about
hold
where
it
you were
across
being
the entire
vile
room.
and
It's
spewing
happening to
vitriol
me.
to women. Why don't you keep that same energy for yourself? Because
Who
everything
says I
that
don't?
you
Who
keep
says
on
I don't?
applies to you.
Who says I don't? I'm not perfect.
You.
And my
You.
second question
When
is,
have I set up and said I'm perfect?
yeah,
and I
my
represent
second question is,
Hold on, guys, real quick. I'm gonna mute everybody for a second. Somebody in the chat earlier posted a very good comment. They said that she called the woman with the blue hair a whore of Babylon because she was twerking. But here we got this broad going from crying to twerking in less than 10 seconds. So I guess Melanie thinks she's a whore of Babylon since she also twerks.
Wait, hold on, you about to do?
I gotta be a boss.
Well, hold on. Oh.
I guess this is how whores of Babylon get down. Isn't this the pot calling the kettle black? I digress.
Right. Like you mute me when you don't like it.
thank you, Mike. That was an excellent pivot into my next question. Melanie.
Now y'all know what I'm about to do. Shout out to the Black women that came and defended this girl because she went viral over that clip. Let me see if I can find it. And I felt so bad because she was dealt with so aggressively, and she wasn't combative. She wasn't argumentative. She didn't cuss. She didn't, call her out her name. She didn't do any of that.
When you come outside with the blue hair, the eyelashes, the makeup, the everything,
yes,
it just screams like she's just one of those girls, bro.
City
City girls, like
Young
stripper
Miami.
culture, like that kind of shit.
Can I
Like,
just say one thing to that?
you can't say nothing to that because I'm telling you how guys perceive it. So that's how we perceive it.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? What are you gonna say that's gonna negate what I'm saying?
I'm an artist, okay? So when I'm on stage, my lyrics, everything that I do, I represent Christ, I represent myself, and I represent beauty, and I represent Black women that are bosses.
No,
let
girl,
me land.
Girl,
let me land
no. You can't land no more.
Why
That
can't I
boss
land no
stuff. A man does not want a woman who says she's a boss.
Insecure
Sweetheart.
men don't want a boss,
No,
but it's
no
all right.
man. And I'm telling you, men who've conquered the
insecure
world
again.
do not want this. But are they taking you home and saying that's my wife?
Some have.
There's a difference.
Some have though. That's
No.
You got
a rebuttal to everything, but you're not digesting. You're hearing, but not listening. You know why it's important for you to listen?
To you?
No, not to me.
Okay,
to wisdom. So you talked about being a Christian, but it says the older women need to teach the younger women, and younger women need to listen and be submissive. But you know how many young women are not submissive to what men say? But you say you're a Christian woman.
Okay.
You can't be a Christian woman and buck against what men are saying. That is anti-biblical, is anti-God, is anti-Christ, and it makes you the great whore of Babylon. That's what the
Yikes.
Bible
No, it
talks
doesn't.
about. I was raised in Christian school, Christian college, and I was in church 4 days a week, all day on Sunday.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, it means something when I'm telling you scripture and you're bucking against it, and it's against the word of God. So don't claim God and Christianity,
against
but your
God?
attitude is bucking, and you cannot be quiet for one moment.
What
But
have I said that's
don't
against
ask me a
God?
question, respond to what I said.
Okay, so what do you want me to
Don't
respond?
ask me a question. You hear, but you do not
Okay.
listen. If you
Okay.
listened, you would know the questions I asked.
The questions that you ask, I don't really have much to say to them. I'm going to be honest
But
with
don't
you.
claim Christianity if
Okay.
you're not willing to submit to when men are telling you.
I can
A lot of
claim
women are Christian
Christianity.
feminists.
I'm not a feminist.
No, you claim Christianity when it works in your favor,
Not
but you
necessarily.
put down men and say, you're rebellious.
Can I just
You're
ask, when did I
rebellious.
put down a man here?
You're rebellious.
When did I put down
You're
a man?
rebellious, and I'm calling it out. You're rebellious.
But when did I call a
You're
man out?
rebellious.
I'm not.
You're rebellious.
I'm not, babe.
Don't claim Christianity.
Don't
You're
speak that
rebellious.
over me, 'cause
No,
that's not
I'm
me.
speaking it over
Don't
you.
speak
Even
that
you
over me.
talking now,
Yeah.
you have no discipline because you can't
Okay.
sit and listen without opening your mouth.
Yeah, because I don't feel like your
because you're
points are
rebellious.
valid
No, I'm
to
telling you,
me.
you are antichrist and you are the Jezebel. Whoever has influenced you has told you need to be this Jezebel and anti and
Okay,
rebellious.
what we're not gonna do,
No,
firstly,
no,
what-
you're not gonna
what
tell
we're not
nobody
gonna
what we're
do,
not gonna
what
do.
we're not gonna
This isn't your
do-
show. Don't
This-
tell nobody
this
what
isn't
we're
my
not gonna
show.
do. Yeah,
This
don't
isn't
tell
your
me what
show
I'm not gonna
either,
do.
though.
No, but I will. You will not tell
But
me
is it
what
your
I'm not gonna
show?
do.
Is it your
Don't tell me
show?
what I'm gonna do.
But is it your show?
No, is it
All right,
yours?
cool.
Okay. It's his.
You guys, that clip, it makes me mad every single time because she was not combative. She wasn't argumentative. She wasn't even disrespectful. I could call a spade, but it's like she really didn't do anything. She just wore a blue blue wig. She was dark skinned, and they wanted to use her as the scapegoat on the podcast for entertainment, for views. And I hate that they did that to her. They basically ambushed her and kind of set her up. That's why when it comes to this space, you as a woman, as a Black woman, like you can't just go to everyone's platform. I'm sorry. You just can't. Because sometimes their only goal is to use you for views, trigger you to get the views, and that's it. And that's it. And you're like this sacrificial lamb. That's why I felt so bad about this clip. So I just felt like she didn't deserve that. She just really didn't deserve that.
When you think that you're a hypocrite, you think that you're a hypocrite because just like Mike just showed, you called this young lady a whore for twerking this, and that. And then you also, once again, always cast this net of judgment onto women, onto Black women, calling them liars, saying that they set up men all the time. When you just told us that your ex-husband lied on you and set you up and went on this campaign to, you know, make you look a certain way, where was that energy for him? And do you think you're a hypocrite because you did not give him that same energy?
Okay, so I didn't call her that the great whore of Babylon, and I didn't say it about twerking. So if you're going to ask me something, you got to deal with facts. And so I did not say it was not in reference of twerking, and it was when I said what I said it makes you like that when you have a rebellious spirit.
Where in the Bible does it say that? Show me now.
Show you now in the Bible. Like, what are you talking about? This is the great whore of Babylon. She actually represents, just like Jezebel, Delilah, and several women of the Bible who had a rebellious spirit.
Do you have a scripture that reflects that she is the great whore?
No, because I don't claim that she claimed Christianity on there. I didn't.
You also claim to be a Christian woman.
You were a previous wife of the pastor and you can't quote no scripture. You were married to the preacher and you can't quote no scripture. Make it make sense.
Melanie, this is
I never claimed to be. Even on that thing, I said I'm not. I said I was raised. You're gonna let me answer the question or not? You overtalk me every time I say.
You overtalk everybody else, but go ahead. Go ahead, girl.
I've said, since I know you don't watch my content many times, and even on that, I said I was
I don't
raised.
like you.
Can I answer now, or
of course, Melanie?
How much you don't like me? I mean, get it out.
I only told you once. I think it's clear, but go ahead.
All right. So back to the facts. So I never said those things. So again, if you're going to deal with something, come with the facts. So I said many times, and I said even on that I've never claimed that I'm some Christian. In fact, I've been hurt by the church. I was raised that way, is what I tell people all the time. So I was raised in Christian school, Christian college, and I have been hurt by Christians the most. And so I consider myself spiritual. I'm really not sure where I land right now in my spiritual journey, but I've never said that I'm some great Christian. I mean, I say it all the time. So if you know my content, I say I can kind of speak on those things because of how I was raised, but don't hold me to that. I say, listen, I'm grown, I'm more spiritual. I don't get it. I'm not some great Christian woman. I've said this many times. I said that then. So,
but not on that show, Melanie. You told that woman that
where have I been a woman of the cloth? Where's that?
I just want to say this. I can actually agree with her transparency about not having the best experiences with Christianity, the religion, right? But that's not how she came across in this clip. And I think the missing key when it comes to Melanie is she's not transparent. You know, she comes from a place where just the way that she speaks to people, it's not that she speaks to people, she speaks down to people. She doesn't speak at people, she speaks down to people. And so a lot of people take that as if, okay, she's coming across as if she's better than me. Some things she also says in a condescending tone or manner. And I can relate to that simply because I grew up around Christians who would do that to me, as if I did something wrong or if I sinned or something like that, they would speak down to me. So maybe that's part of her upbringing. I can actually relate to that. But when you're on a platform like this, you have to learn how to speak to people, how to reason with people, and you can do that through transparency. So if she would have came like this on the podcast, I think people would have been more open-minded to what she had to say about her views and things like that. But she came across as if she was self-righteous, she was holier than thou. I do want to make this clear on my platform as well, that she's not a Christian. She doesn't claim to be. And so we're not going to put this on Christians. So she claims to be spiritual. This is all on her. And I think that's important for me to say on a large platform, because Christians, you guys do. Y'all get a lot of heat. Y'all get a lot of heat. Y'all get a lot of heat. But a lot of us, please respect the fact that we have had negative experiences that are kind of similar to this clip that I just played, as to why we may react sometimes to things that come from your religious group. Please do not take it personally. Okay. But she has separated herself, so she's not a Christian. And I'm just going to take that for what it is. She answered the question. That's how she responded. So I'm just going to separate them moving forward.
You said that you were in church.
That doesn't mean I'm a woman of the cloth.
No, you said
So
why are
you're
you
the first lady, right?
I was not the first lady. I was never.
Other women accountable to standards that you don't even follow. That's
Are you
hypocrisy.
not going to let me answer a question, or you just want to just get out whatever you feel about me? It's either answer
Listen, what
question.
you're not going to do is come in here and gaslight. I asked you a question. You have had many times to answer it. I can ask you questions. That's what this is for. Answer if you're a hypocrite or not.
What? You're not letting me answer anything, and when you don't like my answer, you skip to the next part.
You haven't answered the question.
I'm answering, and you overtalk me when I start.
But the solution is you have to take accountability. I don't care what your background is. We live in the most privileged society in the world. Even though the worst circumstance of a black woman today is nothing but it was 100 years ago. Especially if you want to talk about the U.S. slavery. I don't know how it was in the UK. I mean, I do know it wasn't like it was in the U.S. But if one black woman made a choice that was Maggie made a choice that was better than the next black woman, then you have a standard now that you need to live up to. And I think a lot of times we wanted to say, well, it's somebody's fault to the government. It's this, that. A lot of races. You look at the Jewish people and what they've gone through in society. It's a lot of the same atrocities. In fact, all of the Bible, all of the Israelites and the Hebrews were actual slaves. Like it was a known thing. And so what I'm saying is that we have to take accountability. We want to keep pointing. Let's not point anymore of what the government and what it is. What do black women need to change today? What are we promoting? Are you twerking? Are your friends twerking online? Are they showing their?
Weren't you just twerking online, Melanie?
Yes.
So why are you sitting there in a white woman's apartment talking about black women twerking online?
Because that's what I said at the time. Did I say that I'm some perfect whatever?
And at the time when you're shading women for twerking, black women specific, you sure didn't mention that when you get drunk, you act like a ratchet ass Jezebel and start twerking just like the rest of them. But I digress.
It looks very hypocritical. That's all we're saying.
And yeah, this is why they call you a hypocrite. Because morality shapes shifts. Your morality is like a chameleon.
Okay. First of all, chameleons, just so y'all can stop throwing it out.
Yes, Melanie.
Only the male chameleons change colors. So if you want to use something, so do you?
I just want to respond to the super chat because yes, Thai City and Ramel are the ones that came up with this saying. They actually taught me about this because I've been hanging out on their live streams for the last week, even though I keep getting blocked in the chat box. Shout out to them because they're the ones that actually brought it to my attention. So I'm assuming they're the ones that created the abbreviation. So thank you because they put me up on game. They are in the YouTube space shaking up, some things because they don't agree with everything that the Black manosphere is doing. And they tend to call them out on a lot of stuff. So yeah, shout out to them. I appreciate that. Okay, back to it.
You want to be a man, Melanie? Because that's what you're doing.
Okay, this is like some masculine shit right here. Okay, male.
Arguing with me, they won't let me answer anything. So I don't know what to say.
Keep deflecting because everyone's been asking.
Fawcett Media is new. Right now it's Fawcett's Media's turn. Go ahead, brother. Jump in.
Thank you. How you doing, panel? Melanie, what's up? Melanie, are you in fact a chameleon?
Define what a chameleon is.
It's a male lizard that changes colors.
I am not that.
All right, that's done. All right, thanks for being such a good sport and coming up here. I think it's the height of feminine behavior to grill a woman for 7 hours straight. How long has it been? 4 or 5 hours? So why do we feel this is something?
When you say someone's grilling for 7 hours straight, are you talking about me? Because I've been going for 3 hours.
Including the time you were on the other channel, Duke and Don?
Okay, so if you came to Cape,
This was already on, like, 2
right now
hours prior,
we're
then
bringing
you
people
came
up
up.
who
What
have
are you
questions
talking
for Melanie, not people who have comments for me. So if there's anybody that got questions for Melanie, that's why you're getting brought up, because I'm not just going to be the only one to have the chance to speak to Melanie. Any viewer out there that's had questions about Melanie's comments, her behaviors, her disparaging remarks, especially Black women, click the link and this is your chance to talk to her, just like Jessica D has been doing.
I have one more question. If you are in fact not a chameleon, there is a video of you saying that you are a chameleon coming out of your mouth. So how do you define chameleon?
Yeah, you've never heard a joke before, guys? I joke, I play around, I have fun. Y'all are so serious and militant about this stuff. Like I say that all the time as a joke. I'm a chameleon. I'm a 304.
But you joking around serious shit though, Melanie. Like, what are you talking about?
On my channel, I say what I want.
No, we're talking about on other people's channel.
Whose channel?
Girl, you was on that white woman channel going in. Are you for
that
real?
white woman you was taping for, Pearly Road Records, your bestie.
I was caping for her.
Girl, yeah, you said you love the woman. You said you love her.
No, it was my first time meeting her. Oh, y'all, come on, stop the cap. Y'all are just doing this.
Who the fuck say they love somebody the first time they meet them?
That's a joke. You've never met a girl like, oh, girl, I love you. We besties, and just being goofy.
Hell no.
I'm not you. I'm not you. You want me to be you? I'm not.
No, I don't want you to be me. I want you to be real. Be real.
You could never be real. You don't get to judge if I'm real or not.
But you're not.
That's your opinion.
No, boo boo. It's your page opinion. Your page shows us that you're not real.
Show that people don't believe that. I can't see that man in his cap. Mask. I'm sorry.
Okay, Reese from Philly. Did you want to answer the question about why men are threatened by feminism? Which, let me give you a description or a definition of what that is. Feminism for women, it should be equality and women's rights and a patriarchy. So, did you want to elaborate on that?
Well, I didn't know you had a question prepared, but I'll answer it for you. As far as
Mhm.
feminism goes, I don't really have a complete understanding of it. Whatever
Okay.
women want to call it or whatever they want to use it for, that's up to them. I'm a man, so anything that starts with FEM, I'm not really concerned with. I'll stay out of women's way. If you want to do what you want to do, I don't think anybody should be in the way. And
Okay.
I think y'all have achieved that thus far. I think you've done it.
You think black women have done it?
Yeah, you can pretty much do anything. I mean, there's nothing out here that you're kept from.
You think that we receive equality?
Yeah, I would have to say so.
You think so?
I mean, if you want to correct me on it, go ahead.
I don't think so. I don't think that we receive equality among other women at all.
Oh, you mean the different races of women?
Right. Of course, there's a hierarchy that comes with feminism as well. You are aware of that, right?
No, I'm not.
Well, within feminism, there's a hierarchy. White women come first, we come last. So no, we
from
don't.
what I've heard, it's designed for them and by them. Am I correct in that? I mean, I heard my mother say that. She's 70 something.
No, I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say that necessarily. I would say that they tend to benefit in this system from the feminism that we tend to fight hard for. Yes, they tend to benefit the most because they come first within the hierarchy of feminism. Yes.
You know, a lot of these isms that were put out here were constructed by some evil people that sat at a long table to put these things together and then just placed on us, however they got it here, entertainment or news or whatever. But they put a lot of different things on us, and we absorb this stuff when I really think we should ignore a lot of it because it takes some of our...
How can we ignore it if we're being subjected to it?
Well, you know, everybody bit the pill. Everyone. So it's here. It's a real thing. I'm with you on that. I'm talking about like back in the day when it was first introduced. Like a lot of these things that are introduced to us, we should reject from the rip, but we don't. We absorb this stuff and we make it part of what we are and our culture. Because I'm an old man. I don't look like it, but I'm an old man. And I was alive to witness this decline in human culture abroad. Because I remember when things were kind of getting better for everybody, right? And then all
When
of a
was
sudden,
that?
it's like I want to say late 70s, early 80s. I was a really smart kid, so I was, you know, smart enough to understand what was going on around me. People back then were a lot more intelligent than they are now. You know what I mean?
You think the heroin pandemic didn't really kind of shake things up? It was heroin, then it was crack.
I think both of those things were devastating to the human psyche and our culture, health, everything across the board. Any industry, anything you could possibly connect to humans, those two things affected it negatively, tremendously.
So
but what
when
we're
did-
seeing today is the late aftermath of that, right? The children that came out of that, these are the people that are 40 and below, right? So
I
this
think
is
we're
the
seeing
madness.
a continuation. Hear me out for a second. I think we're seeing a continuation with social media and the internet. My dad, I think he's like what 50 something. He said that they gave his generation crack, they gave our generation the internet and social media. So I think there's a continuation of that. So
Here's
how
the
would
bridge.
you say
The bridge is, you're exactly right, right? But the
Mhm.
crack was delivered to me, right? And and half of that generation delivered it, and half of them, that's when they started ingesting it. The aftermath are the people that are on the planet right now that are 40 years and younger. Even if your parents didn't indulge in that, it doesn't matter. The strongest cocaine that was ever on this earth was on the residue of every dollar bill around on the planet. That's why they switched all the money over and changed everything over, because they're doing something different now. Now it's about pills. You see what I'm saying? So that's run its course. You don't even hear about coke anymore. But that's what it did to the world, the whole planet. I've studied this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, this is my last question. Was there something that you wanted to add to this live stream?
No, I came a little late. I really didn't know what the show was about, and I saw the chat. You wanted some men to come up. I wanted to see if I could help out the show. Took a crack at it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Reese. I appreciate you for coming up here.
All right, I'll stay tuned in. I'll come up again.
All right. All right. I'm going to go back to the live stream.
Yeah. Would you say you do not like Black women?
Come on now, don't be ridiculous.
Now, I would say that's a bit.
Should
That's
we even
really
keep on finishing, or this should be the?
All right, no. I mean, I don't know what you look at the video that you want to Kevin no more. Like, go this or question.
Cannot talk.
It's distracting.
Oh Jesus. Okay. I didn't have to twerk it out.
Right.
You about to twerk it out? Well, you about to
I gotta be a boss.
well, oh.
I gotta twerk it out, guys. It's the only way to
Twerk it out.
Melanie, I have a question. What is your official stance on Pearl as of now? After everything that's came out on her,
I'll tell you, I do not associate with her. In fact, me and my sister who called in, we when I found out when I went there, I don't watch people in the space. I've had to take a break from it. It's just a lot. It's intense. So when I got the invitation and I knew some other people who were invited, I was just like, okay, that's cool. I actually brought my sister and my cousin with me because we were going to make it like a trip to London for us. So, and I was just like, okay, I'll go on the podcast. I don't watch Pearl. I don't watch the space. I mind my business. So, but I'd heard of her. I knew of things, but it hasn't been that serious for me. So she had been inviting me for a while. So I was like, okay, I know some other people going, I'll go. I'm going to get some water in a second, guys. So I went and, you know, I didn't know how people view her platform as, because I've seen videos when she's had white women on and other things, but I haven't really looked at it like that. I just very cursory, I can speak. And so when I found out after we went there that she had spoken to this known racist and absolute deplorable racist, I was in shock. And I found out getting on the plane going back home. And I was so enraged because I couldn't believe she did not tell us, or I didn't know, or whatever. And I was just in shock. So anyway, so I got back and I talked to her. And when I finally talked to her, I actually spoke to several people in the space. I'm not going to say who, but people involved in the situation, other people that you know who I'm talking about, because I wanted to get advice on how to handle it. Every man in it, including my father, told me to stay out of it. And so I did. I spoke to her and I told her to her face, and I'm not to her face, but on the phone with my sister as a witness. I told her what she did was absolutely racist. I said to have us also on there was disrespectful and not let us know that this is the type of thing that you had happen. And then we tried to school her, you know, because I like to have, like, there's a lot of people who think like her. And so, yes, there's a place to call out those things. But I also believe in having a conversation, because if we can actually have dialogue.
So they had black slaves.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they didn't have it. But
they weren't loyal to them just because they had the same skin color.
Because we're not even 100% loyal to ourselves now. And
look what they do to Candace Owens. And why do you think black people sold black people into the slave trade? They weren't thinking, oh, they're black, I shouldn't. They're thinking, let me get this bag.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Don't clip me. Yeah, so how would reparations work with the black slave owners? Were they all reparations, or because it wasn't about race? To them, they got their slavery and they're like, oh, their freedom, not their slavery. They got their freedom and they're like, oh, I know how to run a plantation. Let me start one. And they went and bought slaves, ran their own plantation, and then they're like, oh shit, you want to take this away? Oh no. And it was an institution. I said slavery wasn't like that. Some of them had like good relationships with their owners, and you looked at me like I was crazy. You're in a position where they have this whole plantation. What do? They let them go free. What's going to happen? They're not self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
All right. So you confronted her on the phone.
Yes, and documented and tried to have the conversation. And
the reason why I just played those clips is because now Melanie got the PR trained answer. She's going to say when she found out she interviewed a racist, she disassociated. Well, now that you heard Pearl's own racist views out of her mouth, what do you have to say about that? We don't care about you thinking that the interview was in poor taste. What do you have to say about the disparaging things that have come out of Pearl's own mouth when she tries to rewrite our history, talking about, oh, some slaves enjoyed it?
I said slavery wasn't like that. Some of them had like good relationships with their owners. You looked at me like I was
I have to be honest with you guys. I've never seen this clip. This is the first time that I'm seeing this clip. Well, the second time I'm seeing this clip, because I did watch this live stream earlier. So I was shocked by this. I never knew this girl went on a platform and was saying this. And then there's a black woman sitting right next to her.
Because you're in a position where they have this whole plantation. What do? They let them go free. What's going to happen? They're not self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You want me to answer? You just asked me a question and it keeps interrupting with a clip. So I had never seen that clip that you just showed just now. So absolutely,
why didn't
it's deplorable, and it's very it's
advocate for people to vet men.
Hold on, ladies. I know it's going to seem real contradictory that me of all people is going to say don't interrupt her, but she's right. This is the first time that she's seen this information. I want to make sure she sees it all in length, and then she can let us know how she honestly feels about it.
Yeah.
Like there's writings from, I can't remember. It's someone who's like the statue they want it taken down. Yeah. Like you remember when they're tearing all. So this guy, he wrote that he didn't like slavery, but he felt responsible to take care of the slave. Like he didn't look at it as I own them. He looked at it as I inherited this.
Oh,
England stopped slavery.
Yes, y'all. Yes, this just said that England stopped slavery. Hold up.
Stopped without England. They policed. They had no real incentive to stop it because they really didn't have that many slaves.
Gotcha.
And
I'm gonna run that back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, slavery wouldn't have been stopped without England.
What do you have to say about that, since this is your first time seeing it?
My sister's on here if you want to pull her up, so she can confirm some things. So that's absolutely deplorable. I had no idea that she, like I said, I did not, I don't, just like you guys have not watched all my videos and gone to everything I've ever said and done. I did not know about that. So absolutely, that's absolutely a falsehood. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That's is blatantly racist gaslighting. And she's wrong. I mean, and there's nothing else to say about it. It's absolutely. Come on now. What?
Well, Melanie, my question in reaction to that is, why didn't you vet her? You said that you didn't.
You haven't vetted me. You said that you haven't watched my channel. Watch every video of mine.
I said I do watch your channel.
No, you said you have made a lot of
claims.
claims.
I know I don't like you. Those were my exact words. So my question, so don't twist my words. My question for you is, why did you not vet Pearl? You always advocate, because I watch your channel, for vetting people before you jump into things with them. Why you just said that you went? No, I don't have to. I really don't. You said that you went into her podcast without watching her channel, didn't know too much about her. Why would you just blindly go onto a platform that could misrepresent you and your views and your ideologies without vetting it? Because once you go onto that stage, that's a cosign.
I honestly think Melanie didn't care. I think she had like a one-track mind where she was more focused on growing her platform. She was more focused on getting her name out there, that she just bypassed red flags, which women, we can relate to that, ladies, right? We can relate to that. We can relate to that when we have our rose-covered glasses on and we're so infatuated with a guy that we just missed all the red flags, or we're in denial about the red flags. And I think she had a similar issue with that. But see, this is why transparency is important, because even me, as someone who talks about discernment and all of that, when you get your emotions involved, your feelings involved, we women become delusional. Me included, delusional. And you have to have the discipline to take a logical approach, detach, so that you can use your discernment. So your discernment is not blinded. Okay? It's mind over heart. It's mind over feelings. It's mind over emotions. And it just doesn't get any realer than that. Sometimes you have to slow down, right? You have to slow down and stop focusing and fantasizing on what could be the outcome. And I think that's what she was focusing on when she was working with Miss Pearly Things. She was focused on the outcome, which was growing her platform, making a bigger name for herself, maybe even making some money and things like that. So I'm just here to bring some reason to the table when it comes to this conversation. If she was to be a little more honest and transparent, I really think that that was what she was focused on, okay, which was growing her pockets. Okay, Aaron, you are up. I'm assuming, are calling in to answer the question about why men may be threatened by feminism, women having equality and rights. Go right ahead.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I think that the issue is that a lot of men that are in this manosphere, red pill space, as I was before, and as I've watched and developed the content, we are disillusionized to what is actually going on. When you live on the internet and you keep seeing clips of the extreme of one side, you start to believe that this is how everybody is. When in reality, life is a lot more nuanced and in the gray. So I don't think that if you're talking about the actual goal of feminism, what Susan B. Anthony fought for and what came up through the 1900s and the 20s and the 50s, I don't think that's been achieved in the way that what you're talking about as the goal is to be. I think that movement has been hijacked by social media, by influencers. It has been highly promiscuized and sexualized, and the goalpost has been moved far away from what it should be.
Aaron, we can agree on that. We can agree. With me coming to this awareness, I had to separate myself. I truly believe in feminism when we focus on the meat and the potatoes of what feminism stood for, what it was created for, and we have really kind of gotten away from that. The sexual liberation, it got out of hand, and I just couldn't align myself completely with the feminist movement. So we can agree on that. I think we need to get back to having integrity when it comes to feminism. I think we need to get back to what truly matters when it comes to feminism. So we can agree. In modern times, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, doesn't matter what side you fall on. Being extreme and being a extremist is at an all-time high. And I think we need to find our balance again, because balance, it brings on true understanding. Balance also brings on alignment, which we are missing today, which is why a lot of people are struggling with depression, suicide. Some people are on antidepressants and things like that. It seems like women are on antidepressants, but then men are unaliving themselves. So I think the extremist is being highlighted on social media, like you said, Aaron. And I think that is part of the issue. So we can agree on that for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I get where you're coming from. And it's the same thing when it comes to this manosphere, all of this stuff. I honestly can say that I watched it. I'm 25. I've been watching it for about 2 to 3 years. And really, I realized that the issue necessarily wasn't what I was thinking. It was those that I was interacting with. And it was also some of my behaviors that would cause my issues. But when you got people like MTR, Kevin Samuels, when you got people like Steph is Cold, all of these different people in this space that are selling the product, because these people try to get you to buy courses and all of this other stuff, you slowly realize that it's just entertainment. It's like watching the Kardashians or Real Housewives of Atlanta or South Park. It's a game, and it's to make money. The real life experience that you will get is by going through things, is by talking to your father, your mother, your grandparents, people that have actually been through it. Not listening to someone that's calling someone a whore for twerking, but then does it herself. I remember watching that live, and I was like, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. I can't take anything that these people or that Melanie Kiing says specifically out of her mouth to be truthful, because it is just all for sensationalism and for people to really be continuously defending her. Because I've seen things that she said. Some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with, like everybody. But for people to continue to try to defend all of the hate and vitriol and the lying and the deflection as if she's some goddamn politician is just crazy to me. And it shows that YouTube is not a space to be taken seriously.
No,
quite frankly. You should get on here, look at stuff, and then get off and continue about your day.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for coming up here and sharing that. I do have one more question though. When did you make the switch? Do you have any advice to young men that have kind of gotten caught up in that? In the space?
I mean, like I said, I've been watching this stuff for years. I've been preach people that are in Manosphere that collaborate, you know, different types of geopolitical streamers like Destiny. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff. I think that honestly, after seeing all of it from every which point away, I think the best bet for people to do is, number one, if you got some type of issues, get a therapist. Number two, don't go to YouTube to get advice from people. Try to get some lived experience from people that are around you. And if you ain't got that, then you got to go through the fire by yourself. You cannot take what everybody else says as gospel. You know, you got to figure it out for you. And I think really I found this stuff out and really realized this about a year ago. But, you know, I still like to consume some of the space. Some of it is helpful. Some of it is not so much. You know, you just got to pick and choose your battles.
Well, thank you, Aaron. I tell the ladies the same thing that you're telling the men. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you for coming up here.
No problem. You have a good one.
You too. Okay, James, was there something that you wanted to add? And it's an article that I cannot find, but I had it. I don't know where I put it. But I believe that's where I got that 80 number from. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back and do a live like that, but that's too much. It seems like his issue with feminism is paternal rights. He doesn't like the dynamic between men and women when it comes to that. That's debatable. Then I guess he's upset that women can have sex. I don't know. So is it 80? That's why I'm like, you guys, is it 80 billion in unemployment? That's what I'm saying. I've seen two different articles. One article said 50 billion. Another article said 80 billion. So I have to look it up. I'm going to have to look it up. So please do not quote me tonight on the numbers that I put out here, because I really need to look it up. Okay. How do I even want to end this live? I don't even know. I think I think I want to end it towards the end because this done got out of hand. I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. I kind of want to wrap it up just a little bit. Okay, this was towards the end of the live, so let's continue. That was very exhausting. I'm like, how do y'all be doing that every day? That's crazy.
People had to grow their YouTube channels and stuff, and I would probably have never made a video about her because there's nothing hypocritical about that. But you know, when she's giving out dating advice and dogging women, and if you're saying that she had no idea and
Listen,
yeah.
Part of being an adult is that you have to own the decisions that you make and the consequences and repercussions from the things that you choose to do.
Mm-hmm. I feel you. Well, hey, before we wrap up the stream, you got anything else to say? Hey, honestly, I would love for you to click the link and join the panel sometime. Another day. We have a lot of stream about, Black history, culture. Right now, there's a big rift between, African immigrants.
Everything blanked out for a second. So I'm sorry, I missed part of what you were saying because
it's fine. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All I was saying is I hope you actually join my show again on some of my other panels. I do some panels about like race and culture and issues within the diaspora. For example, there's a lot of Africans, immigrants in the UK that really hate us Black Americans, and we have a pretty tense relationship with them. So there's a lot of more intellectual discussions that I have on the show that I feel you would be a great candidate
for. Is that the whole of all of your content?
Oh no! Come on! No. It's just unfortunately it's what gets the most clicks.
That was to me just observing the type of energetic space. I'm also a Reiki master. I'm into holistic healing and all that.
So I might have to hit you up about the numbers. You might have to get my birthday and my birth time.
No, I don't do tarot. But, if you want to talk about wellness and stuff like that, that's a different thing. But that's why I can stay even keel, even in being in the hot, in the flames. But no, because it takes a lot of energy to be in this space of go. So I hope you're doing some self care because this is a lot to be on. Not to say on edge, but to be
negative energy to balance.
Exactly. And again, I appreciate everybody's comment to give perspective to her. I apparently she was on the whole, for all that time listening to everybody's opinion. Again, I will be having a conversation, with her about it and other things. I'm sure as a family, I know my dad will have something to say. That we'll talk about it because we all want her to succeed. I don't think that things are irreparable with Mel. I think her experience, like if she just decided one day to up and quit YouTube or whatever, I'm not saying she's going to do that. I'm just saying like if one day that doesn't happen, she has an expertise that can help other people learn how to scale up their channel. You know what I mean? How to be big. She could be a consultant, for businesses and other people. How do you scale up? So, even controversy can be, there could be positives in controversy.
Yeah, I feel you, and I agree, and also, I mean, if that was her content, if she was teaching people how to grow their YouTube channels and stuff, then I would probably have never made a video about her because there's nothing hypocritical about that. But when she's giving out dating advice and dogging women and her own home's a bit uncut.
With the dating advice, though, what's interesting about that is that there are people who find value and it apparently works for them. It's not she does not have authority over the world to be like, you do this and this will work. Yeah. But there are people who do everybody receives information in a different way. Mm-hmm. So there are people who find value in what she says. It works for them, and that's why they book these consulting sessions. It's the same thing like I say in real life. I worked with a white you can look him up, David Nagel, who's on he is in that wealth space on a Tony kind of like a Tony Robbins kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And he contracted my company to produce 7 of his actual in-person conferences to talk about like how do you scale money. And like literally I'm sitting in there, producing these shows, and I'm like, this dude is not telling them anything that I couldn't say. And they had paid this man between $10,000 and $100,000 to like in real life. Like you can go to his website now. They paid between $10,000 and $100,000 to hear this man say anything that a regular Black person could have told them. So people is perceived value. People go to where they can receive information the best. Like the same, like at church, every pastor, you can't get the word, from every single person the same way. There's some people got to speak in a certain type of way. Same thing like the teachers. You perform better in certain classes because some teachers were able to give you the information in a different way that you could receive it. So, if anything, like these people who do support these people in this space, like they have people who find value. You don't have to agree. You know what I mean? But there are people, it's not like, so that's where like to me, the scamming part comes in because there are people who find value in it.
Basically, what you're saying is fair exchange is no robbery.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, totally. I understand. And everybody's going to vibe with who they vibe with and rock with who they rock with. Yeah, and I get you on that. Totally understand. Well, hey, like I said, hopefully we have you join the panel again when we're doing more of our intellectual discussions.
Respectful towards me, because again, I haven't come at you in any type of way. But again, anytime people are sliding in my DMs, dropping me the links to your show, I'm absolutely gonna come in and try to support my sister.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. And you're a stand-up sister. Shoot, I wish my sister acted like you. Goddamn.
Listen, I'm one of the most solid people you will ever meet in your life.
I believe it. Well, until next time, and actually, watch. I'm gonna even get your
It means bringer of laughter in Swahili.
Oh, okay, I can dig it. Shakesha. Well, thank you for joining once again. I hope you have a great day. Get yourself some sleep at some point. Till we meet again.
All right, thanks.
Peace out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and then there was one. So I got to go to the gym. I got to do a little bit of self-care. You know how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'll be doing a monetization party stream sometime this afternoon. I'll also be streaming the receipts on myself sometime this afternoon. So just stay tuned, guys. Don't only subscribe, but hit the bell notification and select all. That way YouTube actually sends you a push notification whenever I'm live. But God damn it, y'all, I'm undefeated in these YouTube streets. I done got Real Femme Sapien coming on my channel. Just Pearly Things coming on my channel. Melanie Kiing coming on my channel. Oh my God. I got them real pressed about something. And when
Okay, shout out to Mike TV. Shout out to Mike TV. Shout out to Mike TV. Okay, I'm logging out. Listen, if we want to do a debate, I would like to actually schedule a debate because I feel like people should prepare when you debate, before you debate. But debates are supposed to be organized. That's what I'm not understanding. That debates are supposed to be organized and you're supposed to stay on topic. But I don't know, it seems like it's hard to do that in this space because people throw out so many different variations of an argument and it's hard to keep up with all of that. So I will try to schedule a debate. I really don't like debates. I prefer discussions. But we have to stay on topic if we were to do that. So it's just something to think about. So let me know. I don't know. But let me know. Also, shout out to my mods. Shout out to Empress. Is she still here? Is she still in the chat? Thank you, sis, so much for emailing me all of these different statistics and things like that because it was so hard trying to research that. Is she still here? Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you so much. You have been a great help tonight. Thank you. I appreciate you being here for the live. And to anyone else, all of my mods, thank you. I really do appreciate you. You ladies, enjoy the rest of your night. Also, the gentlemen that tuned in, I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. And I will catch you in my next one. Thank you.